crowd of Solana. Welcome to the heartbeat crowd of Solana. Welcome to the heartbeat crowd of Solana. Welcome to the show, 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 crowd of Solana. Welcome to the show with the three amigos. Hotman, Crowder, and Solana on FM radio. Them boys be sliding, so we riding and we ready to go. 100,000 watts full throttle, baby, ready to blow. We passing Coca out to Jupiter, we got your attention. You can tune in anywhere, but listen at your discretion. To the legend, Mr. Hotman can't stop him, each of the deuce. My brother got his own hot burger at Tucker Deuce. Now my rush more of these sports, spitting the truth. It's Channing Crowder, greatest Dolphins, who rock the 52. Solana one best of Miami, the voice of FIU. We reppin' to Miami, the Heat and the Panthers too. We reppin' for the Marlins, the Dolphins, that's how we do. We reppin' for the Crips, so it's always about the you. Hey Jimmy, please get a Pell on the phone and tell him that it's home. I finally got his name on the song. Can't do him wrong, cause it sounds so sweet. You spit the facts while I keep the crowd on their feet. Football season be the reason that I be bringing this heat. Georgia music representing 104.3. Hey, show, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the.
We're having some fun here at the Amerant Bank Arena. It's Tuesday, and we are live at the Amerant Bank Arena. And we will get you ready for a little Panthers Maple Leafs action tonight on the program. Today is Crowder's birthday.
Whoa!
Which means he'll miss a few hours of the show because, as Solana has astutely pointed out on our text thread with Crowder, the guy who makes fun of anyone who celebrates their birthday or takes a day off for their birthday is never here on his birthday.
Never.
And sometimes, if you remember his 40th birthday, he throws an invite-only sponsored birthday party on South Beach that has like sponsorship all over it.
Do you guys get invited to that?
Oh yeah, we were there. I was that was my my great night with Zach Thomas. And yeah, great time.
Yeah.
But they just needed to fill out, they had sponsors, so they needed to fill out the guest list. But today's Crowder's birthday. I feel, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you feel it as well, that there's a little bit of momentum working for UM to get to the college football playoffs over Notre Dame, or obviously there's some other machinations that could happen, and we're going to know a little bit of the direction tonight at 7 p.m. when the playoff committee. This will be their final rankings, right? This would be, now we still need to see the conference championship games on Saturday. Second to last one. Yeah. So they do the conference championship games, then have one more?
Yeah.
But this is the most important one, in my opinion, because you're going to know.
You're going to see where they're seated.
Remember last year, Miami was behind Alabama at this current moment. So a year ago today, they placed Miami behind Alabama, and you knew no matter what happened in the conference championship games, the Canes were on the outside looking in.
By the way, you hear Josh Appel there. He is with us here at the Amerant Bank Arena. We always like to bring in our hockey experts. I'll tell you what's going on in Appel's life. There's a lot of action going on, man. But I was saying, I kind of feel like there's a little momentum swirling for the University of Miami, but I also wonder if that's because we're in this local bubble of Hurricanes fans, and my feed is populated with people who believe the Hurricanes should vault Notre Dame. And I'm wondering if, you were asking somebody in Texas right now, or
they're a joke.
I'm just using a geographic example. Outside of South Florida, I just wonder if they're feeling like there's some momentum building for the U.
I know it could feel like a bubble, but there are national writers now, prominent national writers and national personalities who are going to bat for for Miami at the moment. And I saw somebody say this morning, the only teams in the top 12 right now that aren't ranked one in front of the other based on head-to-head is Notre Dame and Miami. There are 2 or 3 other combinations where the team ranked ahead has beaten that other team behind them, and they are ranked. Correct. Right. But this is the one instance where that's not
amazing how that happened.
Yeah, and I love the ACC network playing Notre Dame Miami on a loop the next 2 days. Great
Did you
troll
see?
job.
Did you see the schedule? Did you see that? Like you could see the grid.
The entire schedule is Notre Dame.
It's brilliant. It's really
Well,
brilliant.
brilliant would be changing the tiebreaker
Sure.
in the ACC,
Understood.
but this is the next best thing.
Understood.
The ACC, man, like brings it on itself with things like this. It's just absurd.
I mean, to sit there and have to celebrate somehow your ACC championship game when you know it's, I want to swear, but when you know it's BS, like it's a real black mark on the conference. But that's
college football now, is it not? Just things that don't make sense are commonplace throughout college football. And Hoch, to go back to your previous question, do you feel like there's a real change of the tide towards Miami, like the narrative flipping towards Miami? I didn't until I just saw the Secretary of State sitting next to the sitting president,
right,
actually talking about this. And I know it sounds silly, but that to me changes my opinion, because you and I were texting with Gelb this morning or yesterday, and I said the Canes are doomed. Like I firmly believe that if I unfollow Mike Ryan, I don't think I'm going to get the same type of
well, that's why I say, are we in this bubble?
Yeah, I mean,
but Gelb had someone on his show yesterday, one of the national guys.
It was Aaron Murray.
Aaron Murray. And he said flat out, yeah, Miami over Notre Dame. But you're hearing that more and more.
Marty Smith said the same thing today. I mean, they were just going through just the different teams that are up for these at large. Oh, Miami's better than Oklahoma. Miami's better than BYU. Miami is better than Utah. All these teams. And another layer to this, it would be very unfair to Ole Miss. However, this committee has set the precedent with Florida State.
Absolutely.
Where if they lose the most important part of their team, which was Jordan Travis at the time, they lose Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss, their head coach and their offensive coordinator, among other staff members. Their head coach now is a defensive coordinator for a team that's in the 50s in defense of efficiency. Are we not applying that principle to Ole Miss? It would suck for them and be very unfair to the Rebels, but hey, the committee has set this precedent. Problem is, the committee doesn't follow their own precedent for anything.
Right, because they have their narrative that they decided weeks ago, and now they're going to have to really make a tough decision. Not tough, in my opinion, because to me, head-to-head trumps everything.
Yeah.
If you have two similar teams, head-to-head win-loss, to me, is the ultimate tiebreaker.
And they'll say, well, if Miami and Notre Dame were going to play right now, Notre Dame would be favored. I'm pretty sure they were favored in the opener, weren't they?
And it doesn't matter.
Right. Play the game.
It doesn't matter. They played the game.
Hoch, upsets, they never happen. Never.
Solana wants to spend the next 3 hours and 51 minutes talking about Davion Mitchell. He shot 1,000% last night. The Heat are my kind of team. They can score. I don't care.
140 every night.
I don't care what the sport is. Give me scoring, and the Heat can do it. So your guy Davion Mitchell was.
They're talking about yesterday, like Norman Powell, Spo. Well, Norm is campaigning for Davion to be first team All NBA.
Yeah.
Spo was talking about Davion like he's his son, his own blood. And then, they score 140, and in the postgame show, I'm not surprised about it anymore. I'm not like, oh, they scored 140. It's like,
no, it's what they do.
He scored 140. Yeah. Bam shot 5 of 8 from beyond the arc, and that was my key to the game. Make Zubats pay for playing a approach to defense.
I can't think of Zubats without thinking of Coach L. Was he there last night? Did you see him?
I didn't see him, and he didn't text me, so I don't think he was there.
Interesting.
Yeah. Coach L, every time he's at the game, texts me. Hey, Solana, look for me, and we do the wave thing.
Oh, I love an arena wave.
Hate the stadium.
I love the stadium.
With Coach L.
If
Coach L's telling me to look for him, I'm not going to look for him.
Of course, I would do it for Coach L, but I have ripped a Pell a number of times. I do not understand.
I love it.
The fascination with a stadium wave.
Stand up,
because people go through this on their phones for 12 minutes. No. You see where the Budweiser logo is? Right. To the right. Now go. Okay, you see the person. You see Shlomo. Okay, go 3 rows up from Shlomo. Now go to the left. Now I'm way.
And now we're blocking the people behind us.
It's like and there's a goal happening, and it's like, and then they and then you see the person. Okay.
Hey.
And then you go back to your life. For the life of me, do not understand the stadium wave.
No, because now you keep an eye on them. And if something goes down, you know you have somebody in common. You know where to link up with them.
An exciting moment happens. You
Yeah,
point across the arena and you go, oh!
Exciting moment happens anytime I text a friend. I go, hey, did you see that? Like, why do I need to point at someone?
I get upset when my friends go to the arena, don't tell me where they are. I'm not going to go find them. I'm busy. I'm doing work. You're not going to tell me where you are? Send me your tickets. I want to see you.
No, no, I'm not doing a stadium wave. It's pointless. And we'll talk a little Heat today. Today is Giving Tuesday. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. My wife works in the nonprofit industry. Giving Tuesday, you have Black Friday. Everybody does their shopping at stores. You have Small Business Saturday. Everybody tries to spend some money at a small business locally or online. And then you've got Cyber Monday, which was yesterday. You do some online shopping. Today is Giving Tuesday, where you go to a charity, a charitable organization, and you donate some money. Today is my wife was up early, and they run some platforms for companies that accept charity. So I've done this the last few years, and I want to do this again. The Russell Education Foundation is Twan Russell's charity, and this is one of those days where Solana won their pickleball tournament, but that's a fundraiser. They do fundraisers throughout the year. This one's really easy. You hop online and you make a donation. And a lot of these charities, these charitable organizations, I was talking with Twan earlier today, a lot of these charitable organizations, I mean, obviously, the more that they are able to take in a year, the more services they're able to give throughout the year. And Giving Tuesday for a lot of places is a huge day to raise funds. Now, Twan does some massive fundraisers, but if you want to get in on Giving Tuesday and the spirit of the season, the Russell Education Foundation is kind of our pet charity on this show because we love Twan Russell and we love everything that he does for the community and means to the community. If you go to russelleducationfoundation.com, you will see there's a make a donation tab, but there's also a pop-up that comes up that says Giving Tuesday, donate now. And literally you can donate some money off your computer in the next 2 minutes. And I'll talk about it for 4 hours today. And hopefully we can, as a family, the radio family that the Hochman, Crowder, and Solana show is, hopefully we can do some good for the Russell Education Foundation today on Giving Tuesday. So again, the website is russelleducationfoundation.com. Joe Shad tweeted out, projected 38 degrees at kickoff for Dolphins and Jets on Sunday. Tua is 0-7 in his career when the temperature is 46 degrees or colder at kickoff. 1-8 when 50 degrees or colder. Tua has won twice at the Jets in late November, and he's 6-0 versus the Jets in his career. And Miami's 7-0 versus the Jets in games in which Tua appears. So this is one of those classic something's got to give games.
Well, it's a good thing the offense is ground and pound built around Devon Achane now and not around Tua Tagovailoa.
It is amazing what a transformation the offense has made. As I said on that clip, I think that you saw, I'm not necessarily certain that it was Mike McDaniel's idea of a transformation. I think it was necessity.
Had to.
Yeah.
But wasn't it a matter of time before we finally saw this run game guru come to life? Because that's how he was brought in.
And it was that way the first couple of years.
Well, I mean, was it? You had a really good stretch in 2022 towards the end of the season where Raheem Mostert and the Dolphins were behind Jeff Wilson, were able to run the football decently. But, like, I don't remember the Dolphins ever being one of the best teams in terms of running the football, again, through a very small stretch in 2022. In 2023, you had the Broncos game, but this was really Tua to Tyreek. Like, that was the offense, in my opinion. And this is the first time that you could say the Dolphins are winning football games. They're on a 3-game win streak, the longest they've had in a long time. And they're doing it strictly because they have the best running back over the past couple weeks in the NFL, and the offensive line is playing well together.
the Dolphins had the most yards per carry and like the 6th most rushing yards in 2023. That's what was so frustrating about last year, is because for 2022 and 2023, they were one of the most efficient running offenses in the NFL. And then last year, it just evaporated. And it looked like it was going that way again this season, but they seem to have figured things out. We've talked about the Brunskill change to, or the involvement of the extra offensive lineman.
Also, Achane is just great.
And, oh my gosh. the touchdown that he scored against the Saints was not blocked particularly well on the outside. The Saints defensive back also made a terrible play on the edge, but that was pretty much all Devon Achane making something happen there. So obviously he's a big part of it, but it's good to see that this run game is looking at least similar to what we saw the first couple of years of Mike McDaniel. And again, like, it kind of makes you want to see Mike McDaniel work with somebody who isn't too
well. I was gonna say, now imagine you've got that running attack and you've got.
I hate that I'm back in on him.
You've got
I really am.
You've got a quarterback who's mobile, first of all. So now he's a threat.
Not even mobile,
and
just like
then a quarterback who can actually throw the ball. I mean, his greatest strength was accuracy. That seems to have disappeared.
The throw to Waller in the end zone, that he was wide open in the back, and Waller caught it 3 yards out of bounds because it was so off target.
Also, Darren Waller, know where your feet are, too. Let's be honest here. Know where your feet are, as well, because I think half receivers come down with that ball with their feet in bounds.
He hadn't played in a while. Cut him some slack.
Right.
He also had like the most athletic catch we've seen this season, where he dragged his toes on the sideline. But even the Waller reception, that was a 30-plus yard reception or whatever it was. I watched the replay this morning. Waller had to come back to the ball, and the ball's spinning sideways when it gets into his hands. Like, what?
Who is this? Anyone can throw a spiral. I mean, listen, very few people can throw it accurately while spinning it sideways. Let's do headlines here for the 2 o'clock hour. We have a loaded potato on the program today. Crowder will join us from Orlando. Doug Plagans will join us here at the Amerant Bank Arena. And Steve Goldie will join us here. Tonight's game is an ESPN Plus game. So Goldie's just kind of here walking around and being the mayor of Amerant Bank Arena. He's going to join us here. And Aronde Gadsden will join us via the phone in the 3 o'clock hour. So loaded potato headlines are brought to you by Doral Kia, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com.
So, to be fair, is my mic on?
Yeah, it just went off for a second.
Hey, all right. You don't want to hear me anymore, Tree?
Tree got tired. I think Tree thought I was sending it to commercial break, so he was already knocking you guys off the air.
To be fair, I don't.
Hey, Tree, go back to your normal MO, which is not paying attention. All right.
Jimmy's got that covered.
Don't step on Jimmy's toes, but try not to pay attention.
I don't follow the NHL as closely until the Panthers are in the Stanley Cup Finals. Everybody's pretty aware of that. I was shocked this morning.
And even then, you call for Tkachuk's and Marchand's trade.
Yeah, well, I mean, do they really need Barkey?
Right.
But
yes.
The funny part is that take went by the wayside last year, and here we are, and the Panthers are second to last in the Atlantic Division. What's going on here where the Panthers and Maple Leafs are playing in December? This is supposed to be a marquee matchup for the NHL, and these are the bottom 2 teams in the Atlantic Division.
Bottom dwellers in the division.
And they have the same. I was going to frame it as, I saw the Maple Leafs at the bottom. I was going to frame this as, the Leafs are done. The Panthers ruined the entire Leafs experiment.
Didn't the Panthers give up two-goal leads recently, which they never do?
So it's actually 3 straight games they've done this, because in Nashville they went up 2-0. The Predators tied it at 2, and then the Panthers rattled off 8 goals total in the game. But yeah, against the Flyers and against the Flames, 2 teams at home that they should beat, especially Calgary, they went up 2-0 in the
coughed
first
up
period.
leads. They don't do that.
They didn't look like themselves the last couple of games. The goaltending's been a little spotty. But yeah, it hasn't been a good little stretch here.
They have the same amount of points as Toronto, so I can't even do the
one game in hand though.
We're okay. We're doing that again.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing that again. It's facts.
Facts are facts.
So are we cooked? I mean, what's going on here?
Everybody's
all right.
Not cooked. Long season.
I meant in terms of the standings. I don't think the Panthers are a bad team. We know they're hurt, but it's still too early to say that they're going to be able to rebound and
way too early. I think they're going to be fine. That could just be hopium because we've seen them get out of things consistently the last 3 years. They were down and out Paul Maurice's first year, famously. and they were able to battle back at the end. They thankfully got help, but they're a better team. They're battle tested now. They're going to get guys back. I think they'll be okay. And again, as we talked about all year, they just have to get in. They just have to get in. Maybe you readjust your expectations overall for what that looks like.
I mean, imagine you're the 1 seed and you're facing the Panthers as the 8 seed. You're the most miserable team in the NHL. You're the most miserable 1 seed in the NHL.
The Bruins in 2023. Sergei Bobrovsky, by the way, 16-9-1 record in his career against Toronto.
Is he in net tonight?
I would assume so, yeah. A lot of off days. Tarasov started against Calgary.
Makes sense.
Right.
Who would you go with? Vanacek?
Well, I mean, it's between Bob and Luongo. So
Lions.
Canes Hoops, they play tonight at Ole Miss. So you have the Florida Panthers and the Leafs on FM 104.3 tonight with Plagans and Billy Lindsay. And then Canes Hoops, 9 p.m. In Oxford, Mississippi at Ole Miss at 9 p.m. That'll be on AM 560. I also think that game's on ESPN. Am I right about that?
The Canes game?
Canes game is on ESPN.
I was unaware.
I think. Yeah.
A lot going on at Ole Miss.
Very true. Good point. Patriots beat the Giants. No surprise there. The Patriots are legit, man. Like legit.
Hard to argue. Drake May is now the odds-on favorite to win MVP. He has leaped Matthew Stafford, and they are and again, the Giants are no good.
The Patriots have not played anybody. But if this is the schedule you're going to play,
you've done exactly what you need to do with that schedule.
That and there's a close game here and there because it's the NFL. But if you look, they're blowing teams out.
They've won 10 straight.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. And look, this is the NFL. Crazy things happen. The Saints 1 week can beat the Panthers on the road 17-7, and then 2 weeks later the Panthers can go and beat Matthew Stafford and the Rams.
It is funny. There are 2 losses this year: the Raiders and the Steelers.
Yeah, both by
one
score.
That's wild.
They lost to the Raiders to open up the season. They beat the Dolphins 33-27. That could have been a loss.
It was like the Raiders' first game with Pete Carroll, and you're like, oh, he's still got it. Remember we did that with Bill Belichick on the first drive of UNC.
Not even the game, the
first drive, and everyone's tweeting, he's still got it. Oh my God, UNC got it.
What did they finish in the ACC?
Like 4. Oh, in the ACC,
2-6. They finished 4-8.
4-8 on the season. I know. Yeah.
Good. There cannot be an NFL team that hires him.
No, not now. Not with Jordan Hudson, whatever her name is. Yeah.
Talking about the cheerleader?
Too much going on there.
The Heat blow out the Clippers 140-123. That score not really representative of how the Heat dominated that game. The box score.
I couldn't believe it because I turned it off. I don't know. They were up 40 or whatever, 30 something. They won by less than 20.
Yeah.
What happened at the end? They just
Kawhi Leonard happened.
Oh, really? He got hot. What was he still doing in?
No idea. It was like he was trying to send a message. The Heat were up 20-something points at halftime. They came out in the third quarter. The Heat score the first 9, so they go up 30, and Ty Lue takes out the entire starting 5 for the Clippers. James Harden played 19 minutes, never checked back into the game. They've won 2 games going back to early November.
I mean, they are putrid. Jimmy says the Canes Ole Miss game is on the SEC network.
Gotcha.
Solana, I saw last night about Davion Mitchell because you brought him up. Highest true shooting percentage in a game with a double-double in NBA history. I looked it up. I wasn't sure the exact stat, so I clarified it just now. He's looking and laughing at me because I have the tweet pulled up. But that's insane.
He's legit good this year. And I was trying to get ahead of it before people started talking about it with Hoch and Crowder, and they just made fun of me.
Okay, but it's still December 2nd.
We're going to do that. December 2nd, you're 21 games in, and Davion Mitchell in the fastest-paced offense, the highest-scoring offense in the NBA, is literally going to maybe end up top 5 in assists this season while shooting an insane percentage. We're going to do that, where we're 21 games in with a pretty large sample size here, and he's balling.
Yeah, you're a quarter of the way through the season. They've exceeded expectations,
Okay.
and there's definitely a possibility that things start to even out at some point. If you think Davion Mitchell is going to shoot 1,000% for the rest of the season, I would say you're mistaken.
Not what I'm arguing, but I'll tell you what, Appel, if Matas Buzelis put up this stat line, Hoch would have showed up naked today.
Boozy had a good game last night. Boozy had a good game last night.
It's been 26 minutes of the first segment. We would only be talking about
in a loss last night. Boozy had a good game. I hit the Vooch over, by the way. Vooch revenge game, 16.5. That was a laugher.
I love that Solana brought the paper box score from last night. I'm not crapping on you. I love the paper box score.
Yeah. I keep all my box scores. Tommy Tig told me about that. Keep all my box scores from the past couple games.
Why are you calling them box scores?
I have several box scores.
But why are you calling them box scores?
I love the emphasis on where you're putting it.
What would you call them?
Box scores.
Yeah, box scores.
There's a show.
We're saying the same thing.
No,
there's a show that Nick Kroll and John Mulaney do. It turned into a Broadway show, and they're just like these two old crusty New Yorkers, and they do the same thing. They go on Broadway.
Yeah, right.
That's what.
Why are you saying box scores?
Saying it the exact
way
you're saying it.
No,
box scores. So
right. Why are you saying it that way? Why aren't you saying box scores?
Yeah,
like anyone else.
That's how I'm saying it. The Heat tomorrow play the Dallas Mavericks.
Do you have a head injury?
The Heat tomorrow play the Dallas Mavericks.
Are you okay?
Guess what?
Are you the one that played linebacker on this show?
I don't have to go to ESPN and look up how that game went. I have the box score right here.
All right.
Happy holidays.
Your weather. In South Florida, partly cloudy. It's supposed something's supposed to happen. This is gonna sound Chris Broussard-esque, but something is supposed to maybe happen in South Florida in terms of weather that was newsworthy today. Because I saw I had went to go help my dad out with something this morning. He was watching WSVN 7, and they teased like some big news story in the following segment. But then I left and I forgot to check. And here I am talking it through with you.
All right. Well,
is it weather related? What was Phil Farrow saying?
4 o'clock hour.
All right. I'll find out for everybody. That is sponsored by ChillZone AC, featuring reliable root AC systems. Visit chillzoneac.com.
Somebody puts on the chat, Boozy missed 2 important free throws. Hey, Dant305, stop watching the Bulls game so closely. All right, buddy? I said it was in a loss. We're going to talk more hockey and football with Josh Appel, who will be with us till 4 o'clock today. Like I said, Plagans, Goldie's going to join us. Aronde Gadsden's going to join us. We're at the Amerant Bank Arena. Gulfstream Park in beautiful Hallandale Beach is off and racing. Time for you to spend a great afternoon at Gulfstream Park. The championship meet is on, featuring live racing every Thursday through Sunday. Witness the nation's top horses and jockeys compete on the iconic Gulfstream track and enjoy the thrill of racing all season long. Make it a full day out in 10 Palms Restaurant with premium dining, unbeatable track views, and convenient wagering options. If you want schedules, you want to make reservations, you want to buy tickets, just go to gulfstreampark.com. Gulfstream Park, they offer the hottest slots and electronic table games. They combine the excitement of casino gaming with the thrill of thoroughbred racing in one electrifying destination. The annual wall calendar giveaway is this Friday. Pick up a complimentary 2026 wall calendar at Gulfstream Park while supplies last this Friday. Book New Year's Eve right now at 10 Palms. That's an incredible way to ring in the new year. You can get tickets now for the ultimate New Year's Eve celebration. Ticket includes premium endless dining, live band, DJ, party favors, photo booth, and a midnight champagne toast. And then don't forget to purchase your Pegasus World Cup tickets soon, because that's going to be here before you know it, and tickets sell out every year. Get all the details, get all your tickets at gulfstreampark.com.
You're listening to the Hoch, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Crowder.
Hoch.
Crowder.
Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 35% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Test.
You hear me, right?
Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, try spreading
Awesome.
puppy paws. Well, grab a whisk, brush it off.
I know Tree told Jimmy before the show started, play some good music today, and I think that's Tree. I think that's Jimmy trying to placate Tree, but Tree's not even listening to the rejoin. What was that, Jimmy?
Memory Remains by Metallica.
I don't have your headphones ready to roll at a moment's notice. Huh?
I know, right?
We had a big producers board op meeting about 2 weeks ago.
I recall.
And my main thing was if you're behind the board, have your headphones on.
Right. Be prepared.
That was a direct message to everybody.
Right.
Like, could you imagine doing a radio show and the person behind the glass doesn't have their headphones on?
So what was that? Are you flexing on Solana, Jimmy? Like, hey, the meeting was real nice, but I'm not listening to you.
That's not true.
Does that every day.
You're flexing? It seems like a little bit of a flex to me. You're flexing? A little bit of a flex.
I'm not flexing.
All right. Seemed like a little bit of a flex to me. Don't forget, today is Giving Tuesday. If you want to go to russelleducationfoundation.com and make a donation, that would be a really great gesture on Giving Tuesday. The Welcome to Rockville Music Festival returns to Daytona International Speedway, May 7th to the 10th, featuring Guns N' Roses, Foo Fighters, My Chemical Romance, Godsmack, and more. And we've got a chance for you to win a pass for all 4 days. This is a great prize. Code word today is Daytona. So text the word Daytona to 20357. That's 20357. For more info, go to WQAM.com. Tickets are available for purchase at welcometorockville.com. It is a text contest. Message and data rates may apply. Do not text and drive. I saw you giggling. I thought you had something to say.
So Solana pulled up a George Richards article on FloridaHockeyNow.com about a player the Panthers called up to play tonight from the AHL, and I'm dying for Solana to try and pronounce it.
Oh, duels. Give us a duels.
So I don't think I can pronounce this name.
Try it.
Let me see.
Just the last couple letters make me a little nervous.
Studnicka.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Studnicka.
Yeah, if you're Eastern European, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Where's Uruguay? Is that Eastern Europe?
Yep. Right next to Albania.
Josh Appel is with us for a couple hours today. He, of course, not only is our fill-in host, but he's a play-by-play broadcaster nationally for Sports USA's coverage of the NFL. He's scheduled to be on the call this Sunday for Packers and Bears, which is a great game. But he's got personal stuff going on. Can I reveal? Yeah, so
sure.
his wife, Mara, is due. I mean, they're having their first baby.
We're in any day now territory.
And they are in any day now territory. And so Josh doesn't know if he's actually going to be able to make it up to Green Bay because he doesn't want to miss the birth of his first child.
Yeah, but the Packers-Bears game is
It's a
so
great
good.
game. It's a great game. I mean, you gotta weigh it out, right? Pros and cons. Baby being born, first one with my wife. Roma Dunze, Caleb Williams,
And if you think about it, it's one of like 15 games that I'll call this year. So
Ben
like,
Johnson.
Lambeau.
I mean, there's pros and cons on both sides of this.
What do you value more, the love you have for your family or Jordan Love?
Again, toss-up.
Man, Christian Watson.
It is a toss-up, man. That is a good game. Appel nailed his analysis.
The rare
of
time.
The Saints heading into the Dolphins game. His analysis was the Saints are going to be pesky enough that they're just going to be there at the end and you're going to be annoyed by them. And it's exactly what happened in that game. So I'll ask you a couple questions that we were talking about yesterday, the day after the game. What is wrong with Tua, in your opinion? Or is this who he is forevermore?
I hate to say it, but we've seen this version of him for a long period of time this season. It's not just a performance here and there. This is what he has looked like for the majority of this season, and even a bit last season too. It just feels like physically all of the injuries have caught up to him, and his best days are behind him. I just think that this is what he is at this point, unfortunately.
So the question then is, can you continue on? Omar Kelly wrote a column today in the Herald that essentially was like, can you afford another season? No matter what the salary constraints are, if you have a quarterback who is this diminished?
Well, it depends on whether or not the Dolphins think next year they have a chance to do things in general. If it's just a bridge season to get you to 2027, then you might as well keep him on board. I still think that he is a starter in the league. He's not a top-end starter. I'm not even sure he's middle of the pack anymore.
Man, he doesn't look like a starter, and he is so diminished.
That's fair, but I mean, there's some bad quarterback play.
I get that, but I mean, literally, you have a guy who's not mobile, and his greatest attribute was his accuracy,
and that's gone,
which he seems to have lost. Like,
I heard you guys talking yesterday about the play that he scrambled right before the 4th and 1 that got stopped, that he pops up and he celebrates. I mean, that is the perfect encapsulation.
Unaware.
Yeah.
Completely unaware.
The throwaway he had in the first half where he got out of it and then he's running backwards again. I just, it's not the same guy. So every now and again, the same highlight clips from 2022 and 2023 will pop up, and it feels like an alternate universe, the quarterback from like that Charger game to open the season in 2022, or that Ravens comeback in that same season, or the Cowboys win in 2023. It just feels like a different guy because it is a different guy. A lot has happened to him physically since then. And I think it's a fair point by Omar Kelly. But again, if the Dolphins, I mean, they wouldn't admit this publicly, but like if they feel that next year is a bridge year, I guess you could go either way on that. If you're not going to win anything, then who cares if you take the $50 million cap hit or whatever it is going to be if you cut him after June 1st, or if you keep him on the roster at whatever the cap hit would be at that point too. If you want to just clean breakup, I think you might just move off of him this season. But again, as we've talked about before, he's gone after 2026 regardless.
I'm just saying, like, watching him the last few weeks,
not the same guy.
It's literally it is such a diminished quarterback that I don't know what you're doing at this point.
We kind of saw this coming though, right? Because Appel earlier in the year, it was Kyle Krabs who was that I was using as a launching point, because he had pointed out those intermediate routes that Tua was money on. I mean, nobody was better from 10 or 11 to 19 yards in the middle of the field, and it was all timing stuff. Like, nobody was better than him, and that's where that significant drop-off has been. He's never been the best deep ball thrower, but if he can't convert the 11 to 19 at a high efficiency clip, then
what are we doing here?
What's his value?
Right, but I mean, is this because you said, hey, the injuries have led to this? Is this more so? I think this is what has to be answered. They've put it in his head for the past 2 years, get down, don't risk it, and that's affected him, because I think that's something a quarterback can overcome. Or is this a situation where literally his body is failing him and he can't overcome that? Because, like, if it's the former, then hey, maybe he can have a bounce back year. I'm not saying he'll be 2023, and I'm not saying he's a Super Bowl caliber quarterback, but at the very least in a bridge year, you can still compete and win some games and have a fun season. Kind of like we're seeing right now, but with better quarterback play. If it's, hey, this is only going to get worse physically, then, like, there's no question you just buy him out.
I think that the first reason you gave, when you watch him maneuver the pocket and try to scramble, even if he didn't want to get down because that's what he's being told, it seems like he's literally incapable of taking off himself to even put himself in a position to not take one of those hits in the open field. It is, I don't want to question his work ethic. I really don't, because I don't know what he does on a daily basis. But there was a big storyline locally the last 2 off seasons before this one about him working with a personal trainer and all of that stuff. He's not working with that guy anymore. We saw the boat pictures in the off season where he didn't look like he was in great shape. And I don't want to jump to conclusions about off season photos. The way these guys train, that can change in a month or two. But I don't know, man. It didn't look great. He doesn't look great now, and it reflects somebody who maybe didn't work as hard as he had in the past in those off seasons.
That could be too. Are you buying, though, their hot streak? They've won 3 in a row. They've won 4 of their last 5, and maybe coming out of New York on Sunday, they'll have won 4 in a row, 5 out of their last 6.
I think they are better than the teams that they're playing on their schedule, and they're winning games against bad teams like they always do. And I think that Pittsburgh will be a really good test for them. I think that this weekend will be an interesting test for them because the Jets have been playing better too. I know that's still the Jets, and I know the Dolphins have had good success against them, but it's a road game in the cold. The Steelers, Monday Night Football, the Bengals are going to have Joe Burrow back. Like, these are games on the schedule that you say, all right, like, these are winnable games, and it'll be a test for them. I just think they're mediocre right now, and mediocre teams, they win the games against the bad teams, and they lose the games against the good teams, and that's kind of what they've been the last couple of years, obviously to a different extent, but as much as we talk about how bad they are, there are still really good players on this team at certain positions. And when you have game breakers like Devon Achane and Jordan Brooks, an animal in the middle at linebacker, and Minkah Fitzpatrick has a game like he had on Sunday, like, sometimes just when you play these lesser teams, your game breakers make plays that win you games. So I don't know. I'd like to buy it. The wins are fun. And they are encouraging because you do see signs of progress, especially on defense. But, I mean, they're just beating bad teams, which is fine. I'd rather them beat the bad teams than lose to them.
We're at the Amerant Bank Arena. You've got Panthers hockey tonight, which you will hear on this radio station. Aronde Gadsden's going to join us in the 3 o'clock hour, although I'm having second thoughts because he texted me I'm anti-UM going to the college football playoffs, so I may just scrub his entire appearance because not certain I need to hear from a Syracuse dad. I mean, we're already going to have Goldie later on today repping Syracuse, but Aronde is going to join us in the 3 o'clock hour. Are you struggling to find the perfect gift for the holidays? Everybody loves fine jewelry and watches. So come to the International Jewelers Exchange with over 40 years in business and 3 convenient South Florida locations. They really are your jewelry superstore. More than 150 individual jewelers at their locations, and they're all family owned and operated. So you can come see for yourself. You can shop in Aventura, and the International Jewelers Exchange in Aventura is a block south of Aventura Mall. Boca Raton, just a block west of the Turnpike on Glades, and in Boynton Beach at the corner of Military and Boynton Beach Boulevard. If you have never stepped foot in the International Jewelers Exchange before, think of it like this. It's not just a jewelry store, it's a superstore. There's more than 150 individual jewelers, all family owned and operated, and they're all under one roof. And you literally will be able to find anything that you're looking for everyone on your holiday list. So if you love watches, they've got every timepiece you've ever dreamed of. If you'd like to custom design a piece of jewelry, that's no problem at International Jewelers Exchange. And you're not dealing with salespeople. You know, you're engaging with jewelers with over 50 years experience, and the prices are wholesale to the public. You're going to see items up to 70% off retail. So again, there's 3 locations: Boca Raton, Glades, just west of the Turnpike, Aventura, block south of the mall, and Boynton Beach on Boynton Beach Boulevard and Military Trail. Happy holidays from the International Jewelers Exchange, unbeatable by design.
This is Hoch, Crowder, and Solana.
You're not going to learn anything about sports on this show. I'm sorry, you're not. But I know McDonald's. Back live at the Amerant Bank Arena, Panthers and Maple Leafs tonight. A game you will hear here on 104.3 FM, WQAM, Miami sports leader. And we've got Aronde Gadsden, former Dolphin, joining us this hour. We can do 15 minutes of Game Day Uncensored. That's brought to you by the Lexus December to Remember sales event. Get offers on select models for a limited time. Learn more at Lexus.com. This is just based on what we were talking about. And by the way, Game Day Uncensored, you can hear this Sunday beginning at 9 a.m. Solana and Tobin and Chris Perkins and Omar Kelly. They will get you ready for Miami and New York, 9 a.m. Just happened to see a Dolphin fan tweet this, and I think it's kind of maybe the prevailing opinion right now on Tua. It says, Tua ranks this season passing yards 20th, TDs 18th, turnovers 1st, QBR 28th, salary 6th. The biggest robbery in NFL history. Now, it's a little overdone.
The Kirk Cousins contract exists.
It's a little overdone, but I think that's the prevailing notion right now among many Dolphins fans, right? And here's the thing, I'm a Tua lover. I've been a bigger supporter, Josh too, than anyone on the radio, but I can acknowledge what I see with my own eyes. And he's not the guy that I was standing for. Like, he's just not. And he's so diminished in what made him special that I can say, yeah, that's a lot of money to have wrapped up in a guy who's going to hand the ball off to Devon Achane all game long.
I think we talked about this earlier this season. I forget which game it was, but the stat line for Tua was fine. They won. It wasn't bad. Maybe it was the Charger game where he played well, let him down, and obviously Phillips couldn't make the sack on Herbert, and Tua threw the most hilarious interception to end the game on the lateral. But
that was great.
When you're getting paid what he's getting paid, the math changes on everything and the way you evaluate his play. Because the first couple of years of him, the stat lines didn't really jump off the page at you, but he would show flashes here and there. He would make throws where you're like, look, it's not going to lead the league in passing at that point in time, but he still played well. That doesn't cut it anymore when you're getting paid $50+ million. Missing that throw to Darren Waller in the end zone doesn't cut it anymore when you're making $50+ million.
Launching passes up into the end zone into double coverage. And I love, by the way, trying to convert off a turnover and whatever, but just launching a ball up there. Like, if you're a $53 million quarterback,
you can't do that.
You can't do that. If you're Brosmer for Minnesota the other day,
you expect it.
I'll give you a little leeway on something like that.
It's the mistakes. He's making too many mistakes. Because if Tua right now was just game manager, making smart decisions, not forcing things, but not making mistakes, I think everybody would be fine with how this is kind of playing out here. Because again, we know he's limited. We understand the situation. He's never going to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, but you'd be fine understanding that, yes, you made a mistake in paying him money, but he can still win you a football game. But that's not how you feel watching this game. And Hoch, yesterday, when you're saying the Dolphins are on a winning streak, but I don't feel like I thought I'd feel after 3 straight wins to start the game. It's because you're expecting, against the Commanders, some sort of commanding win. Right. And then, you don't do that. You get the bye week. You come out, you're playing the Saints, who have only won 2 games this season. You're like, okay, now here comes the impressive victory, and you still don't get it. And you're winning in spite of your quarterback. That's a tough place to be.
Even if he is playing like a game manager, though, like, you're paying for a top tier guy. It's better than the alternative of what we're seeing now, but you're paying top 6
but that's
money.
Done. Like, I don't even go back to the contract anymore.
For sure. And I don't have a problem with them extending him at the time. Like, this revisionist history a lot of people are doing. I know some at the time said, oh, you could have just franchise tagged him. Okay, try that and see how that would have gone with him and maybe a possible holdout and things of that nature. You just make it even more messy. You had to extend him when they did. That was the going rate for quarterbacks who are producing at the clip that he was.
I don't think you're right about that.
I do.
You can't do revisionist history on that. He led the league in passing. Any quarterback at that point in time. I mean, Trevor Lawrence got $50-something million.
That's fine, and I don't want to necessarily relitigate the entire thing, but the biggest gripe a lot of people had, including myself, Hoch, you know that I've been consistent with this, was that he couldn't stay healthy throughout an entire season. And sure, he was great in 2023, but the season prior, he had to miss 4 games. And guess what? The very next season, he had to miss 6 games, 4 in a row because of a concussion. And if that's where your starting place is on your franchise highest paid player, that they're at risk, and it's almost a foregone conclusion they're going to miss 4 games a season. That's a horrible place to be in as a franchise. So I disagree. I know there were risks of not paying him the money. He probably would have sat out. And by the way, I wouldn't have blamed him, but I think you can use hindsight and say it wasn't the right decision because he literally missed 6 games last year and kept you from being in a playoff spot.
But the thing that, and again, I know we're going to relitigate it, but the thing that everybody wanted to see from him was a full season, staying healthy, and production, and he did that.
Yeah.
And you still had a horrible record against playoff teams.
But to me, sure, but every quarterback, plenty. Jordan Love got a massive contract. They thrilled with it right now?
Well, he looked pretty good on Thanksgiving, Hawk.
That he did. I had bet against him.
But Trevor Lawrence is the example. They paid him off that.
Justin Herbert's constantly injured.
But even those guys.
Joe Burrow. Are the Bengals happy with a Joe Burrow contract?
You can't. And look, I don't think Trevor Lawrence is an elite quarterback. But look how good that team is playing. They're winning games. They're 9-4. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they're leading the AFC
they won 3
South.
in a row? Call me when they've won 3 in a row.
They might have, but
they might have. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, they're leading the AFC South in a division with the Colts and the Texans.
Have you decided, Josh, if you're going to call the Packers-Bears game on Sunday, knowing that your wife is about ready to give birth at any moment?
I would say the likelihood of that happening is like.
You're talking about the birth or the call of the game?
Both.
Okay.
The likelihood of me calling that game Sunday is probably like 1.5%.
Because there's no way you can't get into Green Bay, say, flying in on Sunday.
No, that's cutting it way. I wouldn't want to do that in the company.
No
and
shot.
Yeah, that's not
a 4
good for
o'clock
me.
game?
That's a 4 o'clock game. So I could pull it off.
I mean, you could fly into Chicago early in the morning, drive to Green Bay. How long is the drive?
2.5. We were going to. So our plan was to fly into Chicago on Saturday. Our whole crew is going to be there, and then we were going to drive road trip Sunday morning at like 8 a.m. and get to Green Bay around 10:30, 11. So that was the original plan. But I can't do that to them. What if something happens and it's Saturday and all of a sudden they're in a scramble?
Well, you could do Sunday, though. Fly in 6 a.m. Chicago, Sunday, drive to Green Bay. I'll be the surrogate for Mara. So if she does go into labor, I will treat it as if it were my own wife going into labor, and I'll do everything that you would have done.
Well, I know you have a lot of experience in that regard, and just well, you were coaching us through yesterday, and I really appreciate
it. Yes, I was with you lockstep. Whittingham went to sleep on the thread, even though you had to go to the hospital because Mara
some friend,
and I was who was with you all night,
Uncle Hawk,
all night.
Can I? This really bothers me.
Sure,
it's not a thread. You're just in a group chat.
Yeah, I let him do that's like a boomer thing that he's doing there.
No, but we have a whole thing. You don't read the thread. That's not fair. You're the one who coined that.
Did I? Well, only because you call it a thread.
No, Jack. You started with the you don't read the thread. You call it a thread. I'm just following along.
No. I would call it a group chat or a group text.
You're like
a Grext.
Sorry for talking over that. That was good. You're like Zuckerberg. Like, this is what Zuckerberg does. Hey, I got a thread with my friends. And all of a sudden, he's starting a new website called Threads. There's a Reddit thread. On Twitter, arguably, you could create a thread. On Facebook, maybe, you can create a thread. You're just in a group chat. If I put you, me, and Jimmy in a chat together, it's not a thread. It's just a group chat.
Yeah, but then I could say check the thread.
Okay.
Rather than check the history of the group chat.
No, check the chat.
It just seems
check
a little wordy. Seems a little wordy.
Check the Grext.
Yeah. So you're not going to call the Green Bay Chicago game?
Might do it from my house.
Oh, well, that would be a good.
That's a joke.
Oh, because you could.
We'll get StreamYard up and running.
No, but couldn't you get a live feed of the game?
I suppose technically, but I might have some chemistry issues with my broadcast partner.
Who's your broadcast partner on this game?
My partner this week is supposed to be Charles Arbuckle, former UCLA and Colts.
Wow, Charles Arbuckle.
Yeah,
how about that? All right, let's do headlines here because Aronde Gadsden is going to join us in this hour in the next segment. Headlines are brought to you by Durrell Kia, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit them at Durrell Kia or DurrellKia.com.
From Travis Wingfield during the Dolphins' 3-game winning streak, the run defense, because we've been focusing so much on Devon Achane, the run defense is 3rd in rush EPA, 8th.
The way that we just both made eye contact.
It was just a little nod, a little acknowledgement. He said defense.
I was watching. I was watching
heard that
yesterday's
too.
show.
Yeah,
Shut up, Jimmy.
I was watching yesterday's show, and you know what popped up under suggested videos? The Sour Queen segment.
Oh, that's a classic.
8th in rush success rate, 8th in yards before contact, and the only defense to not allow a rushing touchdown over the last 3 games. The defense, albeit against not the best competition, I guess the Bills are, though, has been just as good as or better than expected, certainly. All right, Dolphins at Jets, 1 p.m. on Sunday.
It's always a funny device.
Panthers host the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. That's why we're at the Amerant Bank Arena. It's a 7 p.m. puck drop. Jack Studnicka will center the 4th line. He was called up by Charlotte on Monday.
Hockey news.
Mm-hmm.
I see you're wearing a Winter Classic hat.
I am.
And I was going to ask Plagans, actually, and Goldie, like, we're in December. The Winter Classic's going to be here before you know it. Is there juice to this? Am I just like, they sent out some press releases today. Like, I guess as we get closer, there'll be some real juice to it.
I think there's juice to it, and you can hear it on Sports USA on national radio. You might be able to ask Goldie about what he's potentially doing for that. I'll let him release that information, but I'll be on the broadcast as well. So as far as that goes,
you're going to be ringside, aren't you?
Yeah. So as far as that goes, there's some juice to it. The Winter Classic always has juice, and you've got the Rangers, you've got the Panthers, the New York versus South Florida. They played in the Eastern Conference Final 2 years ago, but the Rangers are kind of a mess. What are the Panthers going to look like?
But there's so many New Yorkers down here,
right?
So that's going to be like so. My question,
and I think people are interested to see how South Florida pulls off an outdoor hockey game.
The reason I bring it up is I bought 4 tickets to it and a parking pass, and I didn't know if I should try to resell them or if I should go. I can't decide how I'm going to feel 4 weeks from now when the excitement is building.
When I went to the team store last week to look at gear and decide whether or not I wanted to buy it, you know what I said to myself? How many times are the Florida Panthers going to host a Winter Classic? This could be a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
True.
You know what? I'm going to get the gear, and I'm going to celebrate it. You might never have an opportunity to watch the Florida Panthers in a Winter Classic.
I'm going.
Fantastic. I'll see you there. I'll wave to you. I'll wave to you from the rink.
Well, a stadium wave with a broadcaster rinkside might be the loophole. That might be the loophole. No, but I like when Jax used to do sideline on, what was it called before FanDuel, before Bally, just Sun Sports. They had no presenting sponsor.
Sunshine Network.
Or Sunshine Network. I used to love flexing a little bit. If I was there with my son or my wife, I would text Jax like, "Hey, I'm in row whatever," and the sideline guy would come over and dap you up.
Nobody walked up to you like, "Hey, I'm Murray from Hot Seconds."
Yeah, not many people. Only when I would run into Jeff Fox, who I competed against on Hot Seconds.
Canes Hoops, they play tonight at Ole Miss. That's a 9 p.m. game. That'll be on AM 560. Anybody want to discuss the biggest play on Monday Night Football last night?
You're talking about Young Wei
Koo.
Young Wei Koo missing the football entirely, kicking the dirt or kicking the turf. He said that he saw the bottom part of the football or the pigskin actually sliding, so he kind of held up a little bit.
He tried to hold up. It seemed, again, I'm no kicker. It seemed like he was trying to kick, and just the ground got in the way.
I saw somebody on Twitter post a bet slip of the 4th drive result of just field goal attempt, and it lost because there wasn't actually an attempt.
That was not an attempt. You're 100% correct. That's not officially an attempt because he never made contact with the ball. Wild way to lose.
What an awful
If you are live betting and you're betting that it ends in a field goal or a field goal attempt, and that happens, that'll follow him, right, for the rest of his life, the way Dan Orlovsky running out of the end zone has followed him for the rest of his life.
Well, he's already had issues missing big kicks in his career.
I'm
and now
saying
but I'm saying for him,
something
this is
that,
how could it get worse? Maybe the most embarrassing thing I could
But I'm just saying, if he's a broadcaster, if he owns a restaurant, like that Dan Orlovsky thing has followed him for his entire career.
Will Manso, I had texted you yesterday, paid money to go watch that game. And I tweeted yesterday, all I'm thinking about is the fact that Will Manso and Giselle Spinalis flew up to Boston to go watch the game. And he responded to me, yeah, but I told Giselle at the very least 15 years from now, we can tell people we were at that game. What's the Mount Rushmore of like embarrassing sports moments you wish you were at? Because Orlovsky, back of the end zone, 100% is on the Mount Rushmore. Younghoe Koo yesterday might be on the Mount Rushmore. The butt fumble.
Oh,
I wish I was at the butt fumble game.
Seiko ball on the head.
So it's funny that there's a much more recent version of the Orlovsky play that nobody ever remembers. Jimmy Garoppolo backed up out of the end zone and then threw a pick six.
Remember, Orlovsky thought that was going to wipe everyone's memory away of him doing that.
Yeah.
And it didn't. Just
like Garoppolo, not only did he run out on his own, but obviously the play was dead there, but he continued to play and threw a pick six.
Yeah.
But Jimmy G has so much more swag than Dan Orlovsky. Like he has sex with OnlyFans models. Orlovsky is.
We talking about Jimmy or Jimmy G?
Both.
All right. Randy Johnson exploding a bird, someone says on the chat.
That was funny.
How about the Marlins one? Was it Josh Johnson who took the window out of the car during warm-up?
AJ Burnett.
AJ Burnett, yeah.
How about the one at bat? The I think it was Adam Greenberg.
Oh my God, 100%. I hosted a thing at a temple with Adam Greenberg and David Sampson. It was like a Jewish sports stories. It was some temple in Broward County.
But even Weston?
They asked me to come MC it, and it was with Sampson and Adam Greenberg. What a great call that is.
Didn't the Marlins do like a Jewish Heritage Night featuring Mike Jacobs thinking he was Jewish?
Yes. Well, it was like Jewish Heritage Night, but they had, I think, Mike Jacobs making the announcements for it on the video boards, like for the couple weeks leading up to it. And so then people started asking him about, like, oh, you must be excited. And he's like, I'm not Jewish. But Jacobs, very Jewish name.
There are two things I remember about Mike Jacobs. One, monster dongs. And number two, I don't know how.
Monster. I thought he was going to say monster dong.
That would have been a better joke than what I'm going to say.
A great joke. That's a great joke.
He had
Leroy Horde texting me. He was at the Conseco ball off the head.
Wow.
That's a great game to be.
Yeah.
That's when, you know, what the
Conseco
taking the, when it became a home run, right? Because it bounced off his head.
Yep.
Leroy Horde today, of all days, on Channing Crowder's birthday, Crowder famously lost a tooth on our show.
Mm-hmm.
On Crowder's birthday today, Leroy Horde, in the first segment of his midday show, lost a molar.
What?
On the show. It caught it.
Excuse me?
What is going on?
It wasn't even a veneer.
It was not. One of his teeth just popped out of his mouth.
So what's going on, Leroy? You're going through puberty? What's happening?
Tooth fairy?
Unbelievable. Yeah. You still get the tooth fairy in your 50s? Jimmy's like, yeah, you do. I've got that category on my OnlyFans. All right. What were you saying, Josh? You were telling a story.
It wasn't really a story. It was just Mike Jacobs had perfectly spiked hair at all times, despite being in a sport where you always wear a hat and a helmet. Monster dong would have been a lot funnier.
All right. Yeah, you had a good joke there.
That's why I wasn't going to go back to it.
I got you. My bad.
The Heat blew out the Clippers 140 to 123. Final CP3 game ever against the Miami Heat. The Clippers are just
Are you emotional about it?
Very old.
How many Jovic
didn't play. DNP.
What?
Coach's decision.
Serious?
Must be hurt. And when I mean hurt, must be hurting because I don't think he's getting any PT anytime soon.
Somebody texting in, I was at Disco Demolition. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, there was a 30 for 30 on it.
Comiskey Park in Chicago.
All right, gentlemen. Your weather in South Florida. Oh, and I meant to mention this yesterday. I don't know if you did. It was in my headlines I sent to you. Barry Jackson officially back in control of his Twitter account.
Mike McDaniel welcomed him back at the press conference.
Opened the press
conference yesterday by saying, I'm happy to report. And then he did this whole thing of, I'm not on social media, so I'm getting this secondhand. And I'm happy to report that Barry Jackson got his Twitter account back.
I love Mike McDaniel and Barry Jackson's relationship in those press conferences. Because Barry, remember, he would ask the 3-pronged questions,
Right.
and Mike would be, is that the first one or the second one?
Uh-huh.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, good dynamic.
They let him go first, and he'll ask 8 questions in all but like one phrasing. All right, your weather in South Florida.
Somebody says that tooth got tired of arguing with Tobin. I can't take it anymore. I'm out of here. That's funny.
There's only so much Shador Sanders takes. That
Oh, my God.
man, you know.
Funny.
Against all odds.
Anything else?
Just your weather. It is right now in South Florida, partly cloudy. Tonight, the lows will be in the 70s. That's sponsored by Chill Zone AC, featuring reliable root AC systems. Visit chillzoneac.com.
All right, Rondé Gadsden is going to join us. Leroy says it was a cap, by the way. He's texting me. Rondé Gadsden is going to join us in the next segment. I'm a big believer in Atlantic Men's Clinic. I was there today. Go there on Tuesdays. If you listen to this show regularly, you know that. I look forward to my testosterone shot every week. It honestly has changed my life. And I keep reminding you the holiday season is here. We're in December, full of hustle and bustle and packed with activity. But if your energy is drained, you're not sleeping well, your sex drive is nowhere to be found, then maybe it's tough to feel festive. Those could be signs of low testosterone. And if that's what's going on, this is your season to take action and get treated. You know, low testosterone can cause so many problems. Low sex drive, like I said, bad sleep, unproductive workouts, decreased energy, brain fog, and more. You know, in your early to mid 30s, guys start losing 2 to 3% of their testosterone production every year. Happens gradually. Before you know it, you just don't feel like the same guy you did when you were in your 20s or 30s when you get to be my age, 56. So go to AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. You could take the low T quiz right there on the website. Takes a minute. And then schedule a consult if you want. While you're there, they do your lab work. They have your results within 30 minutes. A Florida licensed medical provider will review your results with you and discuss your options. And Atlantic Men's Clinic, there's 7 locations now in South Florida, including their new office in Hollywood. So call them today, 877-455-7300, 877-455-7300, or visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com.
You're listening to the Hoch, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Text threads are meant for pictures of Jimmy's hot dog. He's definitely sticking with California love for Aronde.
Crazy,
because
right?
his kid plays for the Chargers,
Yeah.
but feel like it's run its course. But that's all right.
There's also, I would argue, there's more songs about California than any other state ever,
Fair.
and he plays the same song
Right.
every time.
Yeah.
The OC theme.
The 90210 theme.
Californication.
There's just a lot of them.
Yeah.
California Dreamin'.
Danny California.
Regardless. Aronde with us in 1 second here. I want to tell you about my good friends in the amazing award-winning team at Durrell Kia. Right now, you can choose from a huge selection of Kia models like Sportage, Sorento, and Telluride with over 500 new Kias in their inventory. All you have to do is just pick the color you want. Nobody sells for less. I've told you, my son bought a Kia K4 at Durrell Kia from Mitchell, the king of Kias. Took great care of us. He will take great care of you as well. They've got flexible financing options. They'll get you the best rates possible on the new Kia of your dreams. So why pay more? Save money and pay less. The great deals are at Durrell Kia. We are at the Amerant Bank Arena in beautiful Sunrise, Florida. And Josh Appel sitting in with us for a couple hours as Crowder is gallivanting with the Pivot crew in Orlando on his birthday. And Solana and I will be here along with Tree, our on-site engineer, till 6 o'clock tonight. Doug Plagans is going to join us in the 4 o'clock hour. Steve Goldstein in the 5 o'clock hour. You will hear Panthers hockey tonight on this very radio station. On the Toyota of Hollywood hotline right now is Aronde Gadsden, former receiver for the Dolphins. He was at Hard Rock Stadium Sunday. I got pictures from several people who saw OG.
Didn't go to LA?
You didn't go to watch OG the second play this weekend?
Nope. You know, them LA trips kind of tough for me, man. 6 hours in the plane.
Yeah.
You know, I do the same thing every week. I go to the Dolphin game at 1 o'clock. I leave about the beginning of the fourth quarter, get home in front of my TV, just me, and I hunker down with some wings, and I watch the game and try to help Jim Harbaugh coach this whole line up.
What do you think? What do you think of the Dolphins? You were there. They've become this offense that is strictly based really on Devon Achane running the ball. Do you have a problem with that? It's working. They've won 3 in a row. But it's a different idea than what we thought they were when they gave Tua a big contract. And they're I think by necessity saying, hey, this is Devon Achane's team to run the offense, and we'll just kind of watch that happen, and it's working.
Absolutely. I got an issue with that. You know what I mean? Like, only reason because being a player, you know, and Devon probably, you know, he loves it and probably going to make every incentive he got, right? But it's going to, you know, cut his career short. I think I seen it with, you know, one of our guys, Sony Michel, like when he went to New England, they ran him. And, you know, it's going to be tough to keep a 7-8 year career when they just run everything through you. You know what I mean? He leads the team in rushes, catches, you know, tackles, you know, everything, you know. So, so it's just tough. I just, you know, listen, maybe he can do it, and kudos to him for what he's done. But, I mean, you know, it's the same thing we did, you know, at the beginning with Tyreek Hill. And the problem is, if something happens to, you know, Tua, you know, Mike McDaniel was sick. Now we have to, you know, get somebody else to run everything through the same person, Achane. I just think, you know, we need to get some other people involved. But, you know, hey, listen, for right now, we winning with it. And, you know, if we can win the next 4 or 5 games, you know, next year, take care of itself next year.
But, OG, do you feel like right now what Devon Achane is doing and his talent, I'm with you. I mean, you don't want to run this dude into the ground. But overall, his first 3 seasons with the Dolphins, to have 1,000 yards through 12 games, he joined a list with Zonk and Ricky. I mean, is he kind of setting himself up to have one of these legendary Dolphins careers? I mean, you played with some of the best to ever put on a Dolphins jersey. Like, is he? Do you look at him with the potential to be, you know, a great here in Miami?
Without a doubt. I think, you know, he's, you know, look at the names you just mentioned, you know, they 2 of the greats, you know, and but like I said, you know, so this is his 3rd year. be his 4th year. So, year 7, when he could be a decent back, what will happen? And, we think of that as longevity as players, ex-players, because, you want to get to your 3rd contract. He'll get a big 2nd contract, obviously, because of what he's doing. But I just think, just for longevity purposes, we have to have somebody else because, eventually teams are going to key on him, shut him down, and then what we do? Oh, we threw one pass to Washington and mad because Washington didn't catch it, but you hadn't thrown to him in 5 quarters. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been throwing to Devon the whole time. He run it, he catch it. You know what I'm saying? Like we even run, like if we need a long pass, we'll try Waddle once, and then the next play we'll run A-10 on the wheel and throw him the 40-yard pass. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just, we got Westbrook and Keena, somebody else can do some of the things. Like, he already catch the bubbles, he catch the screens, he run the ball, just for longevity purposes. I just wish we'd do something else. But hey, like I said, we winning with it. What else you gonna do? Gotta ride the wheels till they fall off. So he's our guy. He's our guy, and that's what we're doing. Hey, sorry, it's a little loud, but I'm actually in Doral at Sports Grill in Doral on 87th. I think it's across from Trump's Golf Course. I'm here with Terry Kirby.
Solana loves Sports Grill. You love those wings, right?
That's my spot.
The wings.
You got the special grill.
Special grill. We got 25 special grill. We good to go, man. I'm sitting here with Carlos, the owner, man, and he's making it happen, man. So if y'all in the Doral area, come on down to Sports Grill and have a few wings. Tell them OG sent you.
Yeah. I've eaten there a couple times, OG. You got the waffle fries with the cheese on the side. I know OG probably got 2 cheeses on the side.
Yeah, I do. Actually, I do got 2 cheeses on the side. No waffle fries, no regular fries. No waffle fries, regular fries.
All right.
We know Rondé, when he goes to Arby's, he brings the sandwich home to put his own cheese on the on the roast beef sandwich, right?
You got to do that. You got to fix it up yourself. Makes it a little better. Everything's better with cheese and bacon on it.
That is true.
Oh, gee.
Hey, look, let me say something before we go further. I ran into something by my cousin over the Thanksgiving break on Saturday when I watched the Pitt game. He made some Thanksgiving leftover nachos. I don't know what y'all do with y'all leftovers.
Oh, I saw someone do that on social media.
But it wasn't bad. Now the little nacho with the macaroni and cheese and some greens on it was a little tart, but the rest of it was pretty good, man. If you have leftovers, put it on nachos, put it in the oven, cheese on top. That ain't a bad thing.
I'll
got
tell
that
you
out the way.
I'm as long as you're bringing up Thanksgiving. I told Crowder and Solana yesterday, you changed my life last week, Rondé. You didn't even know it. Solana and I were marveling that sometimes someone will drop pearls of wisdom and you don't even realize it when you're hearing it. So, the last couple of years, last year, I swore off turkey and Lori cooking all day and the traditional Thanksgiving meal. And last year she made steaks and we enjoyed it. And I was thrilled that we weren't doing the traditional Thanksgiving because I didn't think the payoff was there. This year we happened to be in Tampa. So we were in a restaurant and I had rigatoni and delicious. It was delicious. But you last week on this show talked about the leftovers. Mm-hmm. And as you were talking about it, I was thinking to myself, you know what? I think I may have forgotten maybe the most important part of the Thanksgiving meal, which is not that instant payoff when you get the turkey and the stuffing and the green bean casserole and the mac and cheese. What did you say last week? You said that night, the night game is on. The Black Friday game is on. Saturday college
man,
football, and you're
trust me.
firing up sandwiches. You take some turkey out of the fridge. You put a little mayo on the Hawaiian roll or the dinner roll. Fire up a sandwich, and I got to thinking, that's what I've been missing.
Right, because rigatoni don't heat up as well.
Rigatoni, you don't want that the next day, as good as it is.
I don't want rigatoni on
I don't
Friday
want it the next day.
for the Philly Bears game. No rigatoni.
So, exactly. I'm trying to enjoy the Eagles-Bears. I can't have a tin of reheated rigatoni. Not when I know Arande's enjoying turkey and mayo and cheese on a Hawaiian roll.
And mac cheese on the side with that stuffing with gravy on top of everything. I win.
So
you lose.
I made the announcement on the show yesterday. I am returning next year to a traditional Thanksgiving meal. And I shared that with my wife last night. I talked with her. I said, Lori, we have to have a conversation about Arande Gadsden. And we sat down and we had a family meeting, and I explained to her what you explained. She totally understood. She happens to enjoy cooking Thanksgiving. She's missed it the last 2 years.
Look at it.
And Arande, you've changed my life, and I'm back to a traditional Thanksgiving because I want to enjoy the leftovers on Black Friday football like everyone else is.
Right.
So thank you.
Yes, no problem. I'm glad I could be of some assistance to you.
I appreciate it. Appel had a question for you. I didn't mean to jam in.
No, it's okay.
We're going to run out of time. But that was important.
That is way more important than what I'm about to ask. But, OG, I'm curious because Rasul Douglas is going to be fined internally by the Dolphins and his teammates for not returning that interception for a touchdown and getting tackled by an offensive lineman. I'm curious, when you were playing, did you guys have something similar amongst yourselves?
Let me see. Did somebody get a pick that got tackled by somebody? I don't know. Listen, I think when Sam and Pat got picks, they usually took them all away.
They weren't in danger of getting caught from behind.
Yeah, because they usually catch them on the run that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? The running joke was they'd always tell Brock that I'm about to jump it, and when they jump it, they right. They usually right. So no, I don't think anybody got caught. Not even Zach. I think the pick Zach.
But if Zach got caught, he's not going to get fined because he's expected to get caught.
Yeah. Remember Zach got, because I think all his picks were like 5 yards.
And then he would somersault into the end zone.
Yeah. So it wasn't really that thing about that.
So there was no like kangaroo court fine system in the locker room or anything like that.
It was a kangaroo court fine thing. But it definitely wasn't because you got caught by live.
Gotcha.
It was because you didn't yell at Dave Wannstedt when he walked through the locker room. like he'd come in the locker room and go to your locker, and if you didn't say get out, then Tim Bowens would be like, you owe me a case of beer. You owe me a case of beer.
He's the judge and jury. Tim Bowens judge.
Listen, I'm not standing up and
I would not appeal anything.
Whatever you say, Tim.
Tim Bowens. Great.
Right.
Hey, real quick before we're out of time, OG, and I want you to go back and enjoy your wings and fries there at Sports Grill. But you had texted me, you are not for University of Miami being in the college football playoffs, and you're a Syracuse dad. But go ahead. Why don't the Hurricanes belong? They beat Notre Dame head-to-head.
I know. I unfortunately, I just feel like the two losses just worse because everybody thinks and everybody says the ACC is done for the 5-team tiebreaker and it's trash. But you're not even in the championship game of the trash ACC. And I just got an issue with that because I think they're a good enough team to win that. I get the beat Notre Dame head-to-head game 1. I get that, but I just think the two losses to two unranked teams and not being in the ACC championship just weighs too much. Because you got Duke in the championship game with 5 losses.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and UM's not in it. Like, would I like to see him in there? Mainly because I absolutely enjoy watching Malachi Tony, who's a Heritage kid, play. I think he might have overtaken Jeremiah Smith as I don't know, the best college player out there. But I just, as a team, I just, for as good as UM is, for them not to be even in the championship ACC game, I just think it's a blow. It's a blow. Now, are they one of the best 12 teams? Maybe, but it just hurts because they lost to two unranked teams and not even in the chance. Like Virginia gonna go. Like if Duke win, do we get an ACC? Like does
Maybe
UM
not.
go?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if Duke
Maybe
wins,
not.
nobody goes from the ACC. That's terrible.
But that's an ACC problem.
And like
that's an
that's so
ACC
convoluted.
problem.
Like the tiebreaker at this point should not. It should be the highest ranked team out of the teams that are tied, which would be Miami at that point. And
but but what Aranda is saying is exactly what the committee is doing, which is they're weighing the losses to those teams more than they're weighing the wins.
You lost to Louisville and SMU. They lost to UM and Texas. They lost. Then Notre Dame lost to UM and Texas A&M. That's two top 10 teams. Like the two teams UM lost.
Only two good teams
not
they
ranked.
played.
Yeah, I don't
they're
know.
not ranked.
It just I can't.
I mean, it
get
just
there,
sucks because
OG.
you shouldn't lose to those two teams. Stop playing the game on a Friday night. It's dumb. It's dumb.
I'm with that. Although it does get us off the air early, so I'd actually like more weekday games.
Thursdays, Fridays.
Every time you play those odd day games, you don't have issues, man. Just all the time. But anyway, like I said, I like to see him get in so I can see more Malachi Tony, but
he is
I
fun
just
as
don't
hell
know.
to watch, man.
Yeah,
all right, Aronde Gadsden. He's at Sports Grill. We love you, OG.
All right, man. Thanks.
There you go. Aronde Gadsden changed my life, changed my family's life when it comes to Thanksgiving forever. 4:00 hour is coming up here at the Amerant Bank Arena. Doug Plagans is going to join us. Appel's probably going to take off. He's welcome to stay if he wants, but
I'll stay.
He does have a pregnant wife at home, but he's going to stay. She can wait. I mean, come on. Thing's not crowning yet. Cheetah Pompano. There's a transition for you. Great spot to watch a game or a fight. They got HD TVs throughout the club. They got VIP areas, 4 stages of entertainment, and the most beautiful ladies in South Florida. Cheetah Pompano has an amazing complimentary gourmet lunch till 3 p.m. every day. Happy hour specials till 6. I mean, you got football, girls, beer. Every Sunday and Monday nights, you can enjoy hundreds of beautiful exotic referee and cheerleader adult entertainers at Cheetah Pompano Beach. So there's a lot going on this month at Cheetah Pompano and Palm Beach. Saturday the 13th is the 6th annual Michael A. Vera Rodriguez Medal of Honor 5K Run and Walk. That's at the Hollywood Beach Broadwalk, and you can register to run or walk right now at fun5krun.org. fun5krun.org. And then again, this month, Cheetah Pompano and Cheetah Palm Beach are going to help local families in need by giving away 2,000 free turkeys Monday, December 22nd in the parking lots at both Cheetah Pompano and Cheetah Palm Beach. So if you're struggling a little this holiday season, the 2,000 turkeys will be given away starting at 11 a.m. Monday the 22nd in the parking lot, Cheetah Pompano and Cheetah Palm Beach. Just line up and grab yours. It's Cheetah's way of making sure everyone has a happy holiday season. For all the details, you can go to cheetahsofl.com.
This is Hoch, Crowder, and Solana.
I don't think you could offer me any money for my dog. I love my dog.
I got 100,000 cash.
Take them.
We're at the Amerant Bank Arena. We love this part of the broadcast when we do the show here, when the arena is so kind to bring us food. And Solana and I and Appel and Tree are the recipients of some delicious food here from the Amerant Bank Arena and the Florida Panthers. This is a burnt ends brisket sausage that's available in the club level. And I have to tell you, they were so nice because they remembered last time when they brought a sandwich and they had a pickle on the plate. And I said, I don't like when the pickle defiles the rest of the sandwich.
It just touches it. It doesn't defile it.
They brought the pickles in a separate container just because I had done that. But if you're going to the Panthers game tonight, there's some baked beans in here as well. But if you're going to the Panthers game tonight, you're going to be in the club level. You can get the burnt ends and brisket sausage. Not only did they bring us that, and I'm showing the YouTube streamers right now if you're streaming the show live, they also brought us chicken parm flatbread. So that's a flatbread pizza with chicken parmesan on it. And so, needless to say, look at Jimmy back in the studio. He's seething, if you will. He's seething. But thank you, Florida Panthers, Adeline, Chrissy, everyone who brought us the food, and me and Solana, Appel, and Tree are going to enjoy this. And if you're coming to the game tonight, club level, you can get the chicken parmesan flatbread, which Appel is digging into right now, and you can get the sausage as well, and you can have the time of your life. They do have some great food offerings here at the Amerant Bank Arena.
This chicken parm flatbread is on another level. Or will you judge me if I eat this whole thing by myself?
No, I would be delighted to watch that happen. I would be delighted to see that. Today, not only do we have a Panthers game tonight on this radio station, today happens to be Giving Tuesday. And Giving Tuesday is a day that many, many charitable organizations look forward to because it really gives them an opportunity at the end of the year for the holiday season to boost their donations. And we have taken it upon ourselves the last few years to say, hey, if you want to get in the giving spirit on Giving Tuesday, how about Twan Russell's charity, the Russell Education Foundation? Twan Russell is a frequent guest on this show. The Russell Education Foundation does incredible work in our community. And if you go to russelleducationfoundation.com, you will see a Make a Donation tab in the top right corner on the website, or you'll see a pop-up notification that says today is Giving Tuesday. And whatever you could give, if it's $5, it's $5. If it's $50, if it's $100, Twan Russell and the Russell Education Foundation do such great work. It's all South Florida based. You know, if you listen to this show, what a great community steward Twan Russell is. He's the athletic director at St. Thomas, former Cane, former Dolphin. He does such great work through the Russell Education Foundation that if we can generate some extra support this time of year, we try to do as much as we can. So if you're listening and you want to participate in Giving Tuesday, and again, if you want to participate with another charity that's close to your heart, you're more than welcome to. Today is Giving Tuesday. So if you can find it within your heart and your pocketbook to make a donation, that would be great. And our pet charity is Twan Russell's. So russelleducationfoundation.com is the website. You can make a donation right off that home page. russelleducationfoundation.com. Doug Plagans is going to join us here this hour. Barry Jackson from the Herald, who got his Twitter account back, he did tweet out the Dolphins-Steelers Monday Night Football game on the 15th on ESPN is not expected to be flexed out per an industry source. Final decision is due by tomorrow's 12-day Monday Night Football flex deadline. But the expectation is that the game will remain on Monday Night Football.
And is that because the Dolphins are winners of 3 straight and they're expecting them to be 4 straight going into that game? Is that because it's 2 brands that are elite brands, Dolphins, Steelers? Or is that simply because everybody outside of Pittsburgh loves to watch Aaron Rodgers be miserable.
I think there's probably a few things at play. I think if they are going to flex a Monday Night Football game, it has to be because two teams are dreadful. To flex games out of Monday Night Football when fans have bought Monday Night Football tickets and teams are planning for a Monday Night Football contest, to flex it out, to me, it would have to be the Viking situation where they're down to Brosmer at quarterback and another team that would be down to a second string or third stringer. You've got both starting quarterbacks ostensibly who will be playing. Pittsburgh is a great Monday night location. That's in Pittsburgh, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it would be really dire circumstances for them to flex out a Monday Night Football game.
It's still Steelers-Dolphins, but I'm tuning in, obviously, to watch the Dolphins, also because Aaron Rodgers sitting on the bench looking miserable just happens to be something I really enjoy.
It is fun as hell. Let's do headlines here for the 4 o'clock hour, brought to you by Doral Kia, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com.
How about some Dolphins notes, Hoch?
Okay.
Some roster notes.
All right.
Hayden Rucci, remember he was waived by the Dolphins. He has been claimed by the Lions off waivers.
Oh,
this Dan Campbell back at it again.
You about done with the Lions? No, you're a believer still.
Amon-Ra St. Brown did not play the
true.
entire game. I don't think he's going to play this upcoming Sunday. I just saw a report that he told the media he's still not sure if he's going to play or not. I'm not. I'm still a believer.
Okay.
I am buying the Detroit Lions.
He just needs some Coca-Cola, icy Coke. If you remember, Amon-Ra St. Brown's dad was texting him during a game he was injured. I think this was during Hard Rock. No, not during Hard Knocks. It was during
Wide Receiver
on Netflix.
Yeah.
His dad says Coke fixes everything.
Did you know, speaking of Hard Knocks begins tonight?
The in-season version, right?
I think it's the Commanders, or are they doing the
think
entire
it's the division.
NFC?
Division, yeah. They're doing the NFC East.
Yeah.
NFC East.
Be fun to watch the Eagles.
What, Sirianni?
They seem to really love each other.
Can you imagine the Dolphins winning a Super Bowl and everybody just hating the roster 8 weeks later?
Really wild.
They despise their own team. It's bizarre, and everybody inside that locker room hates each other. I think. Also, you brought up Coca-Cola, Hoch. I saw the most random collab on Instagram this morning. You know, Stranger Things is back, season 5, the final season.
Is this the Stranger Things collab that I saw?
With Gatorade?
Yeah, no. I saw a Stranger Things collab with the Discover card. And I saw one other one.
Are they struggling for views? I mean,
no, they're cashing in
Okay.
a big way. Like now because it's the biggest show. I just saw it's the biggest show in like Netflix in however many years.
Are you back on the Stranger Things?
Well, I was never off it. I just haven't started this final season yet.
Why not? What are you waiting for?
I had to watch the Bulls last night. There's a couple nights where I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down and start to watch it. I know Appel's like 4 or 5 episodes in already.
Yeah, there's 4 episodes. There's only 4 episodes they're going to release. Remember, like the next 4 on December 25th.
Oh, these are just the first 4?
The first 4.
Okay. Well, I can get through these.
I watched the first 4.
You watched them?
Yeah, I watched them all.
Oh, don't say anything.
On Thanksgiving.
No. Don't say anything.
You want to know what happens?
Don't say anything.
Yeah.
My son just texted me Zion's injured. Was anyone aware that Zion Williamson just got injured?
No idea. So Stranger Things has this collab with Gatorade. And basically Gatorade is bringing back their OG glass Gatorade bottle from the early 80s.
Shams Charania, Pelican star Zion Williamson will miss extended time with a right abductor injury. Adductor?
Yeah, so you can have abductor or adductor.
I always thought it was an abductor.
There's 2 different ones.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I thought I had it wrong this entire time in my life.
Abductor or the adductor.
Oh,
yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, it's one on one side of each body.
Oh. He will be reevaluated in 3 weeks.
That last part I made up. I don't know the difference between the abductor and the adductor, but I do know they're different.
How about that?
I bet you Zion would throw down this chicken parm pizza at the Amerant Bank Arena.
I may tear an abductor. I think he would be here and abduct this pizza.
Hey-o.
Thank you, Jimmy. I was wondering where the drums were.
Does the Gatorade in a glass bottle, does the glass bottle have the same effect on Gatorade as it does a Coke?
Yeah, it tastes better.
Yes.
But it's Gatorade.
So
It tastes better out of out of an ice cold bottle. Oh my god, yeah, for sure.
Right. So I should order this OG glass Gatorade.
You have to order it?
You have to order it online.
Yeah, I'm not ordering one.
Okay. All right. So it doesn't make that big of a difference then.
I mean, it makes a big difference, but I mean, yeah.
Danilo Gallinari has retired from basketball. 20 seasons, 16 in the NBA.
I just got pizza on the windscreen. Sorry, Tree.
El Gallo walked so that Simone Fontecchio could run.
Who did Danilo Gallinari get drafted ahead of?
He was a 6th overall pick. Let's see. I'll look it up.
But didn't he get drafted ahead of somebody that was like a billion times better?
08 NBA draft. What was that? Rose, Beasley. Here we go. Russell Westbrook, Kevin Love, Eric Gordon, Joe Alexander, DJ Augustin, Brooke Lopez. No.
Who am I confusing him with?
No idea.
Who did Detroit take one season?
Well, that was 2003.
Who was it?
When they took LeBron went 1st overall and 2nd overall was
why am I'm confusing him with Danilo Gallinari.
Yeah, no,
who was that?
I'll tell you right now. Definitely.
Why can't I think of
Darko Milicic?
Darko Milicic.
Yeah,
That's who I was thinking
from
of.
Serbia.
Yeah.
He was like a bus buster.
Oh, God.
Good take. So the Dolphins have signed Hayden Rucci. I'm sorry, the Lions have signed Hayden Rucci. The Dolphins signed Keon Smith back onto their practice squad, and they cut Braden Daniels in order to make room. So Keon Smith, welcome back. Braden Daniels, kick rocks.
Mm-hmm.
See you later. How's that pizza?
We're good.
Yeah. Charlie Weiss is returning to Ole Miss as the offensive coordinator to coach the playoffs.
What?
Weiss boarded a plane to Baton Rouge with Lane Kiffin on Sunday.
Where are you getting this?
On 3 Sports. This is breaking news. Why do you look at Appel when I say something?
Because I was just wondering if he heard it, because that's pretty shocking. He left with Lane.
Yeah. He boarded that plane. They were booing him.
And he's coming back?
The lady holding the toddler, booing and cursing at Lane and his staff boarding the plane is such peak like South college football. So unbelievable.
Pal, can you go get me a Coke Zero?
The Steelers have claimed Adam Thielen. We got breaking news after breaking news. The Steelers have claimed.
Wiping off the mic here because I got some pizza sauce on it.
Adam Thielen, after he was cut a couple days ago by the Minnesota Vikings.
Are you sure that Charlie Weiss story is true?
No.
It's Charlie Weiss. It's Charlie Weiss Jr.
Oh.
No, but it's Charlie Weiss.
No, it's not.
It's the Charlie Weiss that boarded the plane, Jimmy, to Baton Rouge.
Okay.
Okay, like, what are we doing here?
Wait,
Charlie Weiss Jr. Charlie Weiss that was on.
We're not believing
staff.
you is what we're doing.
Well, I realize
you want to know what we're doing here. We're just not. We're not buying.
But like, what's he talking about? You think we're talking about the Charlie Weiss, his father, who hasn't coached in 30 years?
He had a weight problem, no?
That's Charlie what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Charlie Weiss Jr. has released a statement. I'm grateful to LSU for allowing me the opportunity to finish this season with Ole Miss. Coach Kiffin and the LSU administration have been nothing but supportive. I'm excited about the playoff run. So he's still going to LSU.
Yes. The Miami Heat, they blew out the Clippers. 140.
That's kind of like a signal to the college football playoff committee, like, hey, I'm the guy running the offense. Do not punish this team. That's Lane Kiffin kind of extending an olive branch to Ole Miss.
Yeah, he doesn't want them to get screwed out of the college football playoff.
Sure.
I know you've mentioned it a couple times, and you keep saying there's precedent there. I'm not saying you're wrong. You really think they'd go from 4 to out of the entire picture because of losing the head coach? The FSU thing, a couple different things at play there. One, it was a 4-team college playoff, so it wasn't a 12-team. And 2, they lost their starting quarterback. I think that's a much bigger loss than a head coach.
It just literally says in the guidelines, loss of a player, coach. Like, it's just listed. I mean, it's literally in their guidelines. And if the entire coaching staff left, you could now, again, this is an olive branch for Lane to Ole Miss, and Ole Miss trying to, I think, placate some of their players who I think were a little upset that Lane Kiffin wasn't allowed to coach them, even though it was the right decision by Ole Miss. I think this is everybody's way of trying to say, hey, we're making good here, and this is going to be the same, team that that is ranked 4.
I sent this to you earlier, Hoch, to finish up headlines here. McDonald's has done something. We love McDonald's, but McDonald's has done something that I do not approve of. They have changed the McFlurry cups. So it used to be a cup with a plastic covering. You had a hole in that plastic covering, and they had a McFlurry spoon.
Right.
And the purpose of the hole specifically was because they could put the McFlurry into the McFlurry blender, blend up the toppings, and then hand it to you with the spoon. They changed it to a carton box. And
So what does that mean, a carton box?
It's like a milk carton box.
Huh.
But the top covers, you can open it up. But it's the material is just like it's a box.
Right.
They don't even mix up the toppings anymore.
So what does that mean? They just put it on?
Yeah. So I know you don't really drink or eat McFlurries, but you get Oreo McFlurry. They have a bunch of Oreos smashed up.
Like a Blizzard.
And then they mix it up like a Blizzard.
Yeah.
You can't compare it to the Blizzard.
Because the Blizzard's better.
Blizzard's better. There's no doubt. But there's something about the McFlurry. It still hit. You get an M&M McFlurry. They'd mix it up. You get M&Ms.
So now, if you get an M&M McFlurry, they just drop M&Ms on top of it?
On top, they close the box. They hand it to you. And then now you got like 3/4 of the box is just filled with frozen custard or whatever the hell McFlurry
Who the hell wants a box of ice cream?
Crazy, man. Box of popcorn.
Pissed off now.
You should be.
This is annoying me more than the college football playoff committee. I got to be honest.
Lazy
7
move.
o'clock tonight.
It's a lazy move.
Yeah. Well, you would just think McDonald's would know better.
Would you?
I would. Those are your sports headlines.
All right.
By the way, Kane, some actual headlines. The Panthers play tonight. We're at the arena for the game. That's at 7 p.m. They play the Toronto Maple Leafs. Pretty big game.
Did you know the MLS championship game is an afternoon game?
2:30.
Yeah.
You wrote those out of my headline.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Shocked me.
Yeah, I was listening.
You
by
know
the
what
way,
time it's at?
Yeah, 2:30.
Yeah, time to go to the dentist. Tooth hurty.
Man. Jeez. Don't give him that, Jimmy. Don't give him that.
I had to give him that.
It's a great joke.
It is a great joke.
It's a great joke.
By the way, you brought that up yesterday at 5 o'clock during headlines like it was a surprise to you.
It was?
I had read it at 2:20, at
Not so
3:20, and at
certain.
4:20.
Not so certain.
All
I didn't even know they were playing Vancouver till Crowder told me.
And how did Crowder know?
Oh.
Panthers tonight, 7 p.m. Listen to the game on FM 104.3 WQAM. Dolphins at the Jets, 1 p.m. on Sunday. And tonight, Canes Hoops, they also play. They're at Ole Miss. That'll be a 9 p.m. game on AM 560.
All right.
Your weather in South Florida, clearing up. It's in the 80s. Tonight, the lows will be in the low 70s. That is your weather, and it's brought to you by Chill Zone AC, featuring reliable, rude AC systems. Visit chillzoneac.com.
All right, Doug Plagans is going to join us here at the arena in the next segment. How about you get in the holiday spirit? Because everyone's on the nice list at Hard Rock Bet. Sign up and place a $5 wager. If it wins, you score $150 in bonus bets on top of your winnings. So you got a winning bet, a boosted bankroll. That is a gift worth unwrapping. Touchdowns win games. They win bets too. Pick your favorite playmaker to reach pay dirt in Week 14 on the Hard Rock Bet app. I am suggesting Devon Achane. I don't know what the odds are, but pretty logical anytime touchdown bet would be Devon Achane. Don't let injuries steal your holiday cheer. Bet the Week 14 games with injury insurance. If the player you bet on exits the game in the first half due to injury, you'll get your bet back as a bonus bet. And for more into the college game, it's not just holiday season, it's conference championship season. Join Hard Rock Bet today. Bet $5. If it hits, you'll take home $150 in bonus bets on top of your winnings. Let the enter the postseason on a high note. Step into the cage, by the way. You can bet on the biggest names in MMA with 322% profit boosts for the 323 fights Saturday night. Make your picks pack a more powerful punch. And of course, refer your friends to the Hard Rock Bet app. You'll both score a bonus bet up to $50. It's up to $50 for you and up to $50 for them. That's how you get the party started on the Hard Rock Bet app. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
You're listening to the Hoch, Crowder, and Solana Show.
Ain't no way Solana got a degree.
All right, we're back at the Amerant Bank Arena. Going to have some Panthers hockey 3 hours from now. I believe you can hear the game, obviously, on 104.3 FM WQAM. Doug Plagans, the radio voice for the Panthers, is sitting down with us here at our broadcast location. I think it's a national TV-only game, ESPN+. So your only local live broadcast.
The old sync-up trick. You can employ that tonight.
Sync-up trick. Tell them how to do the sync-up.
Pause your TV when you hear a whistle, and then when you hear that same whistle on the radio, the app, online, wherever you're listening, you hit play again on your TV, and
you're synced
off
up.
You go. It's like Billy and I are inside your television set.
How about that? Doug Plagans. You will hear him tonight. Panthers and Maple Leafs here on 104.3 FM WQAM. Solana was asking Appel earlier in the show. Panthers have lost their last 2 at home. They'd obviously like to get back on the winning track. What went wrong in those Flyers and Flames losses, but also anything to be worried about? Solana was a little surprised. He looks at the Atlantic Division and he goes, oh, wait a second. These 2 teams are at the bottom of the division. And it was jarring for him a little bit.
I just wonder, Doug, because, look, they're dealing with injury. It is what it is. And the last time we were here, they came out and they won games and everything was fine. But you're looking at the standings. At what point are you concerned? Like, at what point is it too late to finally get everybody back and go on some crazy run? I know it's still early, but I don't know what like that deadline is.
So you look right now at where they are, and sure, you see it, but also I think the other thing that you need to take notice of, that it really, this is the case across the league. First of all, how tightly packed all these teams are, and really every team out there is a 2 or 3 game win streak away from being back into a playoff spot. So Brad Marchand was asked about it yesterday, and he talked at length and basically said, if you're worried about your playoff position or falling too far out of it at this point in time, then that's just not the case. That's just not how things go in the National Hockey League. There's so much runway left here, and the Panthers have a few home games right in front of them to bounce back. And you look at a game like tonight, coming off a loss like they did against Calgary, and another thought on that here in a moment, but coming off a loss like that, coming into this one here tonight against Toronto, we've seen it with this Panthers group in recent years. Teams that they've had a playoff history with, Toronto is one of those teams. Of course, the Leafs pushed the Panthers further than anybody did on the run last year, Game 7 in round 2. A game like this, an environment like this, a matchup like this with that kind of intensity, and 2 teams that are familiar with each other from a playoff series, these situations tend to bring the best out of this Panthers group. We've seen that. Look at the games against Vegas this season, for example. That matchup has brought out the best in the Panthers. Look at those couple of games, some of the best the Panthers have played. So I think a game like tonight, maybe when you're looking to bounce back off a few days off at home, this might be exactly what the doctor ordered, because there is going to be a measurable level of intensity. And getting back to what you mentioned about, the loss back on Friday, for example, I think it just illustrates, I know the phrase they like to use at the National Hockey League is competitive balance. A lot of people like to say parity, but I think competitive balance almost speaks more to it. The talent level across the league is as high as it's ever been, and night to night, these teams are so close in terms of ability every night. It's really like nothing that we've seen. And you look at a handful of years ago, there were a lot of teams that felt like that were kind of at square one of rebuilds, and those teams have kind of elevated. You look at a team like Montreal or Ottawa, for example. Detroit was one of those. Anaheim was one of those. These teams have all gotten better, but the teams at the top have not been willing to move off their perches either. So it's just pushed everybody together. That's why here at this point in time, early December, we're still looking at probably 27, 28 of the 32 teams that have plans to make the playoffs.
Yeah, those Sharks and Ducks teams out west are really fun to watch right now. But we mentioned that Calgary game. That's 3 games in a row. I know they got away with it in Nashville, where they've jumped out to a 2-0 lead and coughed that up. And I know that happens from time to time, but under Paul Maurice, especially the last 2 seasons prior, that has not been the norm. Once they get up by multiple goals, they basically put a stranglehold on the opponent, and that's that. Is it something structural that they've noticed the last 3 games? How do you kind of explain the Panthers not looking like the Panthers when they go up multiple goals in these games?
I think there are a couple of factors. I think if you take it back to the Philadelphia game the night before Thanksgiving, that one was just a close game where at the end, at a difficult
Forsling was
time,
slashed, and Ekblad took a puck off the shin. What are we doing here?
There was a crazy sequence of events. and it just unfolded that way at an inopportune time. And over 82 games, you're going to have games that maybe just slip away like that. And that was one of those. I think if you look at it overall, and nobody's making excuses because it feels like every team is dealing with it, but the talent gap, I mentioned how close in terms of talent level all these teams across the league are, but the Panthers right now, they're without 6 guys that were a part of the cup run from last year. They're without, if you throw Cole Schwint in there, who
was playing well.
He was playing well. I mean, he wasn't a regular from the playoff run last year, but this season he kind of asserted himself as a regular 4th line player for this team, and then he went down somewhat long term. So you're looking at a team right now that's without 7 regulars. So to use your phrase, things are going to look a little bit different. It's impossible for it not to look a little bit different. And that's why I think at this point in time, sometimes after teams like you like to look at in the National Hockey League, maybe the quarter mark, 25% into your season, 20 games or so is a point where you can kind of get a feel for what every team's about. And maybe there are some instances where that is the truth, but with this Panthers team, it's an evolving process because the game you knew it was going to look differently without Barkov, without Tkachuk in, for example. Then you take a Dmitry Kulikov out of the mix, and that's 18 minutes a night. And then you're kind of evolving the process and filling holes along the way and finding out what life's going to be like without these players. And that being said, the Panthers still have themselves a stone's throw away from a playoff spot and still have themselves winners of 5 of their last 9 games. And I know those last 2 they would have liked to have had, and the players have said it the last couple of days after the morning skate today, after practice yesterday, that certainly the consistency is something they want to work on here, but they're still right there. I think that's the big thing that you can't lose sight of here, is that the Panthers are still very close to a playoff spot. And let's say 4 games left on this homestand, they rip off 3 out of 4, and they very well could find themselves right back into a wild card.
And obviously, Paul Maurice is not a panic kind of guy.
No,
we know that.
He's seen everything.
Yeah, like he just doesn't get rattled.
If he didn't panic in his first season here, he's not panicking.
He literally doesn't get rattled. He's one of the more fun coaches to watch because of that. But if you said to him, hey, there's going to be no Barkey, there's going to be no Tkachuk, there's going to be injuries that you're dealing with, you're going to have played 3 seasons in a row into June, he'd be okay with this script right now, yeah?
No, I think you look at the way that, and a lot of folks have asked about this, how the team has managed to just still look as sharp as they do, considering they really haven't had off seasons in the true sense of it. They've, this is as battle tested as a team as there is, but they really haven't had that chance to rest like a lot of teams have, and it's because they've had so much success. They have gone into training camp year over year, though, and somehow are able to out-test themselves from the previous year in terms of physical fitness and everything like that. So these are finely tuned athletes who are right in their prime, and a lot of credit goes to the staff off the ice for helping manage that. But with Paul Maurice, as you mentioned, he's unflappable. He's seen everything in this sport, and as far as where they are right now, I think they're, like I said, they've kept themselves in a spot here where they're just a few wins away from getting back into where they want to be.
We said earlier, I mean, imagine you're the 1 seed and you get an 8 seed Florida Panthers sneaking into the playoffs. You're the most miserable 1 seed in the history of the NHL.
And he kind of alluded to it during his media availability today after morning skate, but it's a situation now where you're getting a chance over the course of this season to elevate the responsibilities of certain players, see how certain guys handle different situations. And then once you do, knock on wood, hopefully get back to full health or something close to it, you're going to have an even more battle-tested group of guys. I mean, one example, and I talked to him about this after the morning skate today, but you look at the last few playoff runs, they've kind of had that luxury matching up against a team like Toronto, for example, with a guy like Austin Matthews. They've had the luxury of, you look at your 2 defensive aces as far as centermen go, you could either put Barkov against him or you could put Anton Lundell against him, or if you got, if the matchup dictated one or the other, you could go with either of those. Now, Anton's kind of in that role where he's becoming the go-to, defensive shutdown guy. He's kind of been able to see what it's like to be a number 1 center, which for a long stretch of time like this isn't something that he's had to do in his time here because Barkov has been here. So Anton's being able to get kind of a good, learning course on the fly here in terms of what it's like to be a number 1 center. And as far as I'm concerned, he's handled it well.
What did you do for Thanksgiving? I know we talked to you leading into Thanksgiving. We talked about traditional Thanksgiving meals, and I've changed my tune on it. I was telling Appel and Solana and Crowder yesterday, like I've changed my tune. I've done 2 years now without the traditional turkey stuffing, green bean casserole, mac and cheese. But I'm going to be back to it next year because I missed the leftovers.
You liked it, okay?
I missed it, and I think I've gotten this out of my system. So how was yours?
Mine was good. Went over to my wife's folks' house, and we had a lot of the traditional Thanksgiving flavor, and it was outstanding.
But you don't eat certain things. I know you're not a soup guy. You're not a bean guy either.
Are either of those big parts of Thanksgiving?
No, I'm just saying, like, I wonder what doesn't make...
You don't carve the traditional Thanksgiving soup?
No.
No, but I just wonder, like, do you like mac and cheese? Are you a mac and cheese guy?
So here's my stance on mac.
Potatoes, I imagine you're not a big fan of the consistency there.
I don't think I'd put mashed in the top 10 best kinds of potato.
I nailed this.
Agreed.
Yeah, cute little joke over there, but I nailed it.
Number one.
You teed me up for that. Yeah, I don't dislike them, but I don't put them in the potato top 10.
I imagine Plagan's
You're right.
your dinner was like a ton of turkey, dark meat,
loves his protein.
dark meat, protein, some gravy, but you might not even.
I'm not a gravy guy.
Yeah, didn't love the gravy and salad, like just greens.
There was some of that. We did the baked potatoes.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's not traditional.
but it was still a potato and it was great.
Yeah, no, it is still a potato.
Yeah,
I can't argue that.
Yeah, it was
But-
it was very good.
What'd you have on your potato?
I will say my favorite kind of bean. There is one kind of bean I like. Jelly.
Ah,
Big fan of those jelly beans.
No Crowder here today to bring you some jelly beans.
Yeah.
What would you have on the potato, on the baked potato?
I'm a traditional baked potato topping guy.
Butter, sour cream, cheese.
A little bit of cheese, maybe. I think I threw a few bacon bits in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
checking. You don't like mashed potatoes?
It's not that I don't like them. It's that it just would not be my
Well, what would
first,
be
second, third,
obviously
fourth,
fried
fifth, sixth.
potatoes? A French fried potato is number one. Right?
Potato chips too.
Are we considering potato chips?
A baked potato, a twice baked potato,
potato
wedges. I would take a potato
no.
pancake.
Hash browns?
I would take
No.
potato cakes from Arby's
Yeah,
over
they're good.
mashed potatoes.
They're good.
I would take the hash brown.
Yeah.
I would take if we're what else? I don't know about
Lyonnaise.
what is that?
It's a line from Midnight Run, first of all. But a Lyonnaise potato is kind of like
Shoestring potatoes.
almost like a hash brown, a Lyonnaise potato, but it's got cheese and onions in it. A Lyonnaise potato.
Oh.
You're looking
It
that up.
sounds like what's that? They got a word for that over at Waffle House. Isn't that like smothered and covered or something like
Smothered
that?
and
Yeah.
What was the one that Gia told us?
Well, she was Potato Jones, but
No, what was the potato we had never heard of?
Oh my God! Now this is
What
gonna
was the
kill me.
potato we had never heard of?
While you think about it, sweet potato fry is number 3, right?
Oh,
I love.
Lord.
I will always pick sweet potato fry first,
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
and I will take baked sweet potato over regular potato. Generally,
What's the name
speaking.
of the potato that Gia told us about? We had never heard of. It was a weird name of a potato. He's obviously not going to know it if he doesn't know Lyonnaise potato. I don't think any of you knew Lyonnaise potatoes.
Nope. First I've heard of it.
I was hoping Jimmy would be listening and would remember, but he just sent me a text about BYU, so he's clearly not listening.
Kalani Sataki looks like he enjoys a baked potato every now and again.
Huh? What's going on?
Talking Jimmer Fredette.
All right.
Ah.
Well done.
Steve Young.
Was excellent. We're
yeah.
just dropping BYU references, huh? Doug Blagans will be on the call tonight.
Ty Detmer.
Can't get it, huh? I was trying to vamp a little bit just for these potatoes. You get
Hasselback potatoes.
Hasselback potato.
Hasselback.
Matt
potatoes.
Hasselbeck?
Matt or Tim?
Have you ever heard of a Hasselback potato?
I have not.
So it's a famous potato.
I don't know what it was called, but I've seen that type of potato before where it's all in like
It looks
thin
good.
slices.
Yeah.
It looks like
Our
a.
traffic girl was telling us about Hasselback potatoes, and we thought she was making it up.
We did a whole show one day
On
where
Hasselback potatoes.
it
was National Potato Day.
National Potato Day. She included different types of potatoes into every traffic report.
But Hasselback potatoes was like the second one she went to. We're like, what is she doing? Like, we thought she was making something up.
Potatoes au gratin, also
Au
underrated.
gratin?
No, potatoes au gratin.
They have a great concession at Duels Airport.
Please tell me that you don't order potatoes au gratin.
I go to
Duels Airport.
Potatoes au gratin.
Yeah, he thought it was Duels Airport. It's hard to comprehend.
It's a weird word.
Well,
Thank you, Plague.
If you saw that for I could
but
see.
how could you see it for the first time in your 30s? I mean, it's a pretty famous airport.
So, who'd the Panthers call up tonight to play center on the fourth line?
Sputnik.
Speaking of potatoes, Spud
Jack Studnicka.
All right.
There we go.
Doug Plagans will be on the call tonight. 1043 FM WQAM. Have a good broadcast, Plagans.
Thank you very much. Have a good rest of your broadcast
Thank
here.
you so
Yes.
much. Appreciate that.
We're glad to be a
gonna
part
take
of
a
it.
break. The 5 o'clock Funky Buddha Happy Hour. By the way, Steve Goldstein, Goldie's going to join us in the 5 o'clock Funky Buddha Happy Hour. That guy likes mashed potatoes. He's a mashed potatoes kind of guy.
Sure.
We'll take a break. 5 o'clock Funky Buddha Happy Hour is next.
You're listening to the Hoch, Crowder, and Solana Show.
The Florida Panthers are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions.
That is the way you start out the 5 o'clock Funky Buddha happy hour from the Amerant Bank Arena in beautiful Sunrise, Florida. The Funky Buddha tap room, the on-location one here, is right below us, across from Pantherland. If you're on your way to the Panthers game tonight, which you can hear right here on 104.3 FM WQAM, you can stop by that Funky Buddha tap room right here and enjoy a little beverage of your choice. The game tonight is on ESPN Plus, so there's no live television. There's no local television broadcast. So Steve Goldie has some free time on his hands to pal around with us, to slum it for a little bit.
I have a question.
Sure.
At the Funky Buddha Brewery room, right downstairs.
Right downstairs.
If there's a long line and I give the secret password, will they let me in?
So, no. But here,
but it's a 3-word password.
What is it?
Solana hates Marchand.
Wow.
Isn't that the 3-word password?
Trade him. I mean,
isn't
that?
Is that accurate? Or
well, they had a moment on the ice after the Cup last year.
We cleared that up, Goldie. We cleared that up. I went right up.
You can't say anything to me. It's done for a life cup.
Really a terrible.
And by the way, if you flip the script on me, you'd have like an hour worth of stuff that you could say about me. So you just have one Solana.
Of course, is the television voice of your Florida Panthers, Steve Goldstein, joining us here at the top of the hour at the Amerant Bank Arena. By the way, I know if you listen to this show, Funky Buddha, the tap room in Oakland Park, they do watch parties for every Dolphins game, and they do a menu item that is, they call it Eat the Enemy. They add one menu item every week that is a representation of the opponent's city.
Okay.
So would you like to guess, they're in New York this week, would you like to guess what Chef Vincent, excellent chef, the food at Funky Buddha is fantastic. Now, they did this item before, so you'll know it because they had a game against New York, whether it's home or away. They always
it's a trick question because they play in New Jersey.
But
so is it a quick trick question?
It could be. Might be gabagool. Who knows?
Exactly. That's what I mean.
But would you like to guess?
Am I going for head cheese or am I going to New York City for some real
New Yorker? So what do you think, Chef Jeff? Now, I don't know if you've ever been to Funky Buddha in Oakland Park.
I have been, yeah.
Chef Jeff, and I love him. He gets cutesy.
Yeah.
He doesn't, they don't have nachos on the menu. I've maintained for years, hey, you're a bar, you're a brewery. How do you not have nachos?
Does he tell you how to host the show?
Kind of.
Oh, okay. Then you're well within your right.
Then they start talking about adding nachos, but it's going to be duck confit nacho. And it's like, you don't have to be cutesy on every item. Sometimes just nachos. Regardless, with all that being said,
you had to get that in.
Would you like to guess that? Well, I wanted to give you a little info that he's not going to do, a dirty water hot dog.
He's not doing a hot dog with kraut and the red Vidalia onions.
Exactly.
Okay.
So what do you think Funky Buddha is offering Sunday?
That's a great one. Not knowing that,
but knowing that, hey, it's a place where you want to just, maybe
a little veal parm with spaghetti on
like
the side,
something like that. But that's like a little too fancy for a football
game.
Too
fancy,
right?
Okay, so not the dirty water dog, but not too fancy. I mean, I would love some New York pizza. That'd be the basic. But,
sure.
But you're saying it's probably not what he's going to do.
You want to take a guess?
What about like a New York bagel? Something along those lines?
Yeah, I mean, you're in the neighborhood, I guess. You're in the neighborhood.
Bagel with a schmear? Well, I mean, he's in the neighborhood.
It's a stacked, shaved, house-made pastrami with melted Swiss, caramelized onion, and beer mustard on buttered marble rye. So
delicious. I'd be asleep at halftime.
A pastrami sandwich at Funky Buddha on Sunday.
That is New York.
For the game. You, of course, are the voice of the Dolphins preseason games on CBS 4. And I don't know. I do want to talk Panthers with you, but I don't know what you're buying or not buying after a 3-game win streak and winning 4 out of 5. Are you buying that there's anything there with the Dolphins, or?
I'm buying that they're better than the team we saw against Indianapolis, Carolina, and Cleveland,
Fair.
Which we always thought they were.
Yeah.
But, the last 2 games, they're wins, no doubt. So they're better than the Saints. They're better than Washington. They're better than the Jets. They're better than those teams. That's been the case for a number of years. They're better than all those teams. They're just not as good as the really good teams, especially on the road. So am I buying it? If you said before the season they'd be 5-7 at this point, I probably would have been like, yeah, you're probably in the ballpark. Now, how they got there is a little strange.
Which is wild, right? I mean,
But-
not like after the beginning of the season, if I said to you they're going to be 5-7 at some point, you'd say, no, you're out of your mind.
Right. They have the best running back in football.
Yeah.
Dude, the dude's the best running back in football. I don't care what anybody says. Imagine they had a guy that was flinging it 60 yards on a rope. Like, everybody knows he's getting the ball.
Right.
It's now a ball control, short yardage offense. They all know he's getting it, and he's just amazing. And they've actually done a pretty good job here, recovering offensively to have a decent run game. So am I buying it? Look, I think there's a couple more wins maybe. That's probably it the rest of the season. And if you said at this time in the summer, you're going to go 7-10, you're well, I hope you go 9-8, but yeah, it's not that far off. And that may be where they end up.
You mentioned Devon Achane. It was Achane or bust. And it seems like that's kind of the way even McDaniel was it seems like he's approaching it that way now, where they're not really relying on Tua to do much. I'd asked OG earlier because the names he's in the conversation with 1,000 yards in the first 12 games, Zonk, Ricky, Delvin Williams,
who we've never heard of.
Come on.
I've never heard of.
Come on, Delvin.
He didn't hear him yesterday either. Do you know who he is?
Yes, of course. I mean, I was a little kid when Delvin Williams played, but yeah, I know who he is.
You heard of Delvin Williams?
No. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you guys are young. You heard of Larry Zonka.
I don't know if I'm young, but I appreciate it.
Is there one more? Or he's the fourth?
No,
he's
that
the
was
fourth.
it.
He's the fourth.
Yeah, I don't know what you do with Devon Achane because about 5 weeks ago, and we were expecting Greer to lose his job, and I was kind of expecting a major overhaul. And I know there's a bigger conversation to be had about Tua and all that stuff. I'm just saying, would it be crazy to pay Devon Achane what he's going to demand?
No, if they don't, they're stupid.
Right. I mean,
I would pay him.
But what if you think you're
12,
still a few years
so what?
away?
Pay him 12, 14 million bucks. 100%. You cannot let
a talent like that go.
First of all, you can't let your own guys leave. It is a bad precedent to set because then the next guys come up. Oh yeah, they're not going to take care of me anyway. So to me, and this is 100% Monday morning quarterback in retrospect, but letting your own guys leave to sign Jalen Ramsey and Tyreek probably wasn't the smart thing to do. Now, the Christian Wilkins not giving him $100 million looks great now, right? Because he's not in the league, he's not playing. But you got to take care of your own guys when they produce. So they did it with Waddle, they did it with Austin Jackson, they did it with Tua. I would pay them if it's $12 million a year for whatever the running back gets. 100, and he's a guy that wants to be here. And he is the one guy that has been good all season long. He's blocked everything out. So if it's me, I pay him. But like you say, Solana, there's going to be a new GM. Who knows what else happens? I think it would be a mistake to mess with that guy. That's a guy I would build around.
Do you want to see Mike McDaniel back here next year?
There's a great question. Number one, who is the GM going to be? Number two, if he's not, right, everybody always wants to fire the coach. Who are you bringing in? That'd be my question. Yeah. You automatically getting somebody better than Mike? Are you getting an established guy? Or are you hiring?
It has to be established. I said
right.
Solana.
Or are you hiring the 8th straight coordinator who's never done it?
Like if John Harbaugh gets let go by Baltimore, then you
Tomlin.
Okay.
Tomlin.
Both those guys.
Yes.
Then it's a different then it's about improving the same way. If the best safety was available and if you had a good safety, you go and upgrade the position. So I think it remains to be seen. I'm also curious to see how they finish these games.
There would be no point, though, to getting a first-time coach again.
I agree. Then you keep
You've done it over and over again. But if a Tomlin, a Harbaugh.
We were talking earlier, too, based on how McDaniel's kind of revamped this offense midseason around Devon Achane, I want to see him with a quarterback that he wants and not someone he's taken the job and, having an arranged marriage with.
Well, the interesting thing is that may not be realistic next year either.
Right.
Now, they could go and sign a veteran and draft a guy, and everybody competes, and who cares who, if you're a rookie or you're making this, none of it matters. Whoever the best player is will play. They could do that. I'm not sure they're going to do that. So I think it's just a wide open canvas. The other thing is, if Tua remains a quarterback and Mike remains the coach, what does a GM think about that? If he's told, hey, here's who you have to work with, you don't have a blank canvas. So I will be interested to see what happens the last 5 games. I know it probably shouldn't matter, but obviously, if you go 4-1, it kind of changes things a little bit. Yeah. If you go 0-5, which you could, that might change things.
It makes it more palatable for a fan base if they go 4-1 over the last 5 games and Stephen Ross decides to retain him. If they go 0-5, it's so difficult to make the case to a fan base that, hey, I still see something.
And a year ago, we were having the same conversation.
Yeah.
They won 6-3 in the last 9 games. Literally, it was the same conversation. But I will say this, whether it's physical and he's not saying anything, which is my personal opinion, the change of the offense and Tua really not getting it downfield with any zip. I'll be curious to know after this season what he's been dealing with, because he cannot be 100%. It's impossible.
It's a completely different guy.
Completely different guy.
Because we were stands for him. Like, we argued for him. I had seen enough in 2023 to say, hey, this guy, but he just doesn't have, we said it today. What made him so special was the accuracy. Because he has zero ability to extend a play. He can't scramble. His accuracy's off. His arm seems off. He's just launching balls up there. And so something's hot. And when he does try to extend a play, it's like you're cringing when you're watching it.
And that's the other thing, who knows, inside, maybe even subconsciously, he may be cringing when he does it.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he knows, although we said this like 3 times already, one more hit and he's done.
Yeah.
But he may know that. And plus, it is impossible. I know he's not on social media, but it is impossible to not hear the noise, including from his own coaches. We need you to be available. So if that means not getting hit, and that means throwing the ball 22 times a game, which is what he's doing now, and completing 14 of them, then that's okay. We need you on the field. So that's got to be in his mind also.
Except that's not okay when you're eating up $53 million in salary cap.
There's the other side.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't care what anybody, that's not his fault.
Oh, no, not at all.
That's, he said the market's the market. They could have said, hey, you're playing out the 5th year. If you don't like it, I understand. That's the deal. And then the ball would have been in his court. So obviously they didn't want to do that with him. It's pretty fascinating to see how it all shakes out. And if whoever they hire as the new GM has the carte blanche to do what he wants, I'm not sure that's going to be the case. Doesn't sound like it.
Do you think it's an attractive opening for a GM? Because the cap situation after 26 is going to be basically like a blank slate for them, because they can get out of the Tua contract. Some of the other big contracts are gone too, but they're going to have to eat this 1 year before that. So do you find it as an attractive job for an incoming general manager?
Working in South Florida for Stephen Ross, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Because he's not going 1 and done or 2 and done.
Right.
His
be there 20 years.
His track record is, I'm looking for reasons to keep the stability.
Right.
I'm trying not to make the changes. So I would think, even if they say, hey, it's not your coach and quarterback in 2026, but it's your call after that.
Yeah.
I got to think having an owner that spends what he spends, and like this team here with the Panthers, this is an easy sell. I mean, you go to a free agent, here's the check, and this is where you're going to play, and this is where you're going to live and all that. It's amazing to me that they haven't done it better so far, because I think it's an easy sell. So.
Do I see a FIU Panther pin on your lapel?
It's actually
there?
Stanley C. Panther, but it might as well be
I
the bull-bound FIU Panther.
How about that? I mean, he's rocking the
what do you got?
My Rory
shirt.
My Rory shirt.
On the house? On the house?
You think he would buy it on his own?
On the house. Very good. Proud of you. Proud of you.
I hope you enjoyed Willie Simmons. I think USF might be poking around.
Oh, come on.
Simmons.
Willie can't be 1 and done.
No shot.
I mean,
no shot.
No shot. And sometimes there's better jobs to call in, like
shot.
LSU.
If Shotgun's listening, you can't leave. It's like the Bronx Tale. Gonna lock the door.
Hey,
now you just can't.
Right.
Just a couple of FIU broadcasters.
That's why I brought it up.
Hey, I got basketball tomorrow night.
You got basketball.
Yes, sir. Florida Gulf Coast against FIU.
Now they didn't.
Technically 3 sitting at this table.
They didn't schedule.
Over here.
They didn't schedule us on any basketball games together, Goldie. And I wonder if that was because you asked them not to work with me.
Yeah, I believe that's in the contract. Wait, contract?
Listen, if I could opt out of working with him, I would do the same.
It would be awesome to do one with you. Maybe one of these days we'll hook it up. Yeah, Gulf Coast against FIU tomorrow night.
How about that?
Why don't you come to the game?
Where is it? Where's this game?
Well, it's not in Gulf Coast.
It'd be probably an easier drive if it was at Gulf Coast.
I was just curious. Is there any chance the game's in Boca? Is really what I meant.
You want a neutral site for your own personal?
Isn't there the Orange Bowl basketball tournament coming up here?
Yeah.
That's in a couple of
All right,
weeks.
so let's get them. So if they move the FIU game here, you'll come?
Who's playing in the tournament?
Oh, boy. Here?
Is it always Florida?
Florida State. Is it Kansas State?
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
I think FIU is going to end up playing their bowl game at Boca Raton Stadium.
Is it going to be the Boca Bowl?
I mean, it's not confirmed yet, but I saw 3 different projections, and
You
they all have
did.
them playing at the Boca Bowl.
I saw one in the Armed Forces against Army, which would be a really fascinating game.
FSU and UMass, and then Florida and George Washington.
Oh,
GW.
That's
You're intrigued.
That's right. I am intrigued, Mike.
Well, let me tell you something. You can come down tomorrow night. Okay, you could sit right next to me if you come to the game.
Where is this?
The so-called the Ocean Bank.
You got to go south of the 2 borders, Hochman.
Where
Palm
is
Beach
where
and
is
Broward.
This is at the FIU.
Modesto Medic campus, Hoch, down on Calle Ocho.
Yeah.
You
know what you would enjoy?
You think you can get me tickets?
The pregame media meal.
Oh, what do they have?
It's Publix wings.
Oh, is that so?
Now we're starting.
Tomorrow,
I'll
though,
get you a cafe con leche.
Tomorrow, though, happens to be the Boca Raton Holiday Parade, and I never miss it.
Like I said, would you like to come down to the FIU?
You know,
Boca Raton Holiday Parade. What
I
are you
never
talking
miss
about?
it. I never miss it. You know, the Boca Raton Bowl this year is sponsored by Bush's Baked Beans.
Oh, those are good.
Yeah, because it had been, for a while, it was the Cherry Bundy Boca Bowl, and then it was, I think, was it Roof something?
Yes.
Roofclaim.com.
I went to that one when Bailey Zappi played Western Kentucky against App State.
Western Kentucky is like a fixture in that bowl. I'm trying to remember.
Because the Sun Belt usually goes to that bowl. That's why App State's played it.
USF beat Syracuse a couple of years ago, blew them out.
Well, beat is a kind word.
Speaking of
USF
Syracuse,
should have been arrested what they did. Wasn't it like 80-0 or something?
Well, you guys played a tight end at quarterback. So
speaking of Syracuse,
oh boy,
you know, we had a Rondé on in the 3 o'clock hour. He's a proud Syracuse dad.
Right.
He was making the case that he doesn't think UM belongs in the college football playoff.
Yeah, I'm with him.
Really?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, don't lose.
Yeah, but no.
Stop blowing a couple games a year, Mario.
That's BS.
Stop blowing
Notre
games.
Dame lost twice.
Stop blowing games every year.
Okay, but you know
every year, SMU. Come on.
But how many teams go undefeated in a season?
I didn't say undefeated.
I find that to be such a
don't
bogus
give
argument.
2 away every year.
How about beat the tough teams on your schedule, which you did,
Who?
and you're gonna.
Who's the tough team?
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Florida State.
Florida.
These are rivalry games.
Florida State.
USF.
Big game.
These are rivalry games.
Tell me when you name the tough teams they beat.
You're telling me that you don't think the Hurricanes.
Notre Dame's beating this year.
You don't think the Hurricanes? They're going to see. He's going to say Miami.
Right.
You don't think that
they try? By the way, they try to give that one away too.
You don't think you don't think that the Hurricanes are one of the 12 best teams in the nation?
You know what? In all honesty, they should be in because yes, whoever gets that 12 seed, they're a better team than that 12 seed.
Yeah, they're a better team than Notre Dame.
Well, if you're just going to go by beating them in week 1,
isn't that a good way to go?
Florida State beat Alabama,
which Alabama gets to skate by on that.
Yeah, somehow. I'm just saying, like, isn't that the best way to go by?
They are. That's a little tough.
Well, come on.
That's a little tough.
That's a little tough
because you see it all the time, and then you go, "Oh, they beat them, and they beat them." And you can make a case for for any team. But Miami is one of the 12 best teams.
But if it comes down to
if
Miami,
Tulane
Notre
gets
Dame,
in, it's going to be like Tulane getting in or something, right? As the 12th seed.
Well, because they would be the group of 5.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right. But if it comes down to Miami, Notre Dame for that final spot, Goldie.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be head to head? I think that's what Canes fans are upset about because it feels like it's going to end up being Miami or Notre Dame
add a 1-game
as
playoff.
that final team.
Add a 1-game playoff. Play again.
But they already played.
How about a radio off?
That's
me
true.
versus Brady Quinn.
Wow.
One show radio off.
Ooh.
I represent the U. Brady Quinn represents Notre Dame.
You should set that up.
I'd like to.
Not that it's going to decide anything, but we'll be entertained.
Jimmy set that up.
Yeah, they should be in.
Jimmy, call Brady Quinn.
Honestly, they should be in. But you know what? When you blow game, my frustration is when you give games away.
But every team
every year.
But they give every
that
team,
they're much better than.
Every team loses a
Notre
game.
Dame didn't lose a bunch of games. They're much better than.
Every team. So they lost to a better team.
I said they didn't blow games against teams that if they played 10 times, they'd beat 9. If Miami played Notre Dame, probably be split 5-5. Probably, ballpark. Miami gives games away every year.
That is correct.
And
but
they
again,
know they can't.
So few teams end the season 1 loss or no loss.
So I'm not saying no losses. I agree with that. But this year, after they beat all your tough teams like Florida, you said, and Notre Dame, it's criminal they lost twice with the start they got off to.
Agreed.
So, unfortunately, in that
I just think you're holding them to a different standard than every other.
Yeah,
college.
maybe because I'm frustrated by these games. They the Georgia Tech and take a knee, and you lose to SMU. Come on, leave no doubt.
I think
do your job, and we don't have to have this conversation.
I think people. The thing that gets me is that we talk about SMU and Louisville like they're Stanford, like they're Boston College.
No, they're good teams.
Like they're Miami should beat them, no
Right,
doubt. But
right.
like we talk about them like they are bottom feeders. Like Notre Dame was in a one-score game with Boston College in the fourth quarter this year. Like that gets me. But
they're decent teams.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
And at the time, that was SMU's Super Bowl.
Right,
when
for
you
sure.
went in there.
And it's revenge game.
Yeah. The Louisville, every year at Hard Rock, there's a game.
Yeah, every
that
year.
you just shake your head at.
How
So
about that
what-
Syracuse Notre Dame game this year, huh?
70-7.
Yeah, a lacrosse player playing quarterback. It's always a tight end or a lacrosse player.
You know,
playing quarterback.
you know, who's a beauty is Syracuse coach Fran Brown.
Oh,
Because in the post game, after they got beat by 20 by 1-10 Boston College at home, he's got such an amazing story, right? You know, Fran, how he grew up, and bad situation.
Yeah.
The post game is all about that. He says, so, you know, if the worst thing that happens is these guys go 3-9 in their life, I hope that's the case. I hope that's the worst thing that happens because of what I've been through. How do you argue with the guy when he says that?
Yeah.
He lets it off the hook.
It's like what Lane Kiffin tried to do with his press release, where he had a nice long conversation with Jesus before he decided to go to LSU.
He was talking about Nick Saban.
It's like, it's like, okay, thanks, Lane, but we kind of know who you are.
Lane Kiffin. Beautiful.
FAU legend.
FAU legend.
Panthers, I'm gonna let you go because I know you don't want to.
By the way, Ole Miss didn't cry when he left FAU and didn't coach the bowl game, so I have no sympathy for Ole Miss.
A little bit different.
No
though.
sympathy for Ole Miss.
I don't think FAU.
I'm with you.
I don't think FAU was in the conversation.
That's like you go with the girl who already has somebody and she's cheating on him with you. Don't be surprised when she cheats on you.
It was the
Don't be
the
stupid.
argument that podcaster was making about Lane Kiffin. That he
Please.
took it, he bristled at, but it was so right on.
Well, I'm saying for Ole Miss,
Yeah.
you
But
knew what you were getting.
Sometimes I was saying this to Crowder yesterday. Sometimes you have to put your own personality or even your own aspirations aside for the good of others, and for
That guy doesn't do
team,
that.
Obviously,
Right? No
obviously.
chance he does that. But you kind of knew that, right?
Panthers tonight.
Yes.
Here at the Amerant Bank Arena. We're just about 2 hours away from puck drop. We mentioned a couple of times. It's interesting. Here we are, December 2nd. These are the two bottom teams in the Atlantic Division.
Right.
But from the Panthers' point of view, I asked Plagans in the last hour, you know, is Paul Maurice upset with they have no Barkey, no Kachuk. They've dealt with injuries all season. I mentioned they've played into June 3 years in a row. If he was told, hey, you're going to be scrapping to get into the playoffs the fourth year of this, would he be that upset?
Right. He probably wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, you're missing 40% of the lineup. It's tough, man. And you got a lot of guys, as you said, that are still playing that are being asked to do more. And they played so many big games. I'm not making excuses. You should be able to beat the Flyers and the Flames at home when you have 2-0 leads. But
that's the rarity,
you know,
because they don't cough up leads.
I think what's happened the last 3 years, is completely irrelevant to this group. This is an entirely new team. It's a different way they got to play. Without those players, without the physicality on the fourth line, they can't play quite as physical as they played in the past. And you're getting everybody's, everybody, there's no one feeling bad for the Panthers. They're like, finally, let's go in and try to get these guys. So it's going to be a grind. I mean, you know that now. I mean, it's going to be right down to the wire. The hope is, in my mind, you're a handful of points out after the Olympic break, and you get the greatest NHL trade deadline in history without making a trade.
Right.
It's all your people coming back.
Yeah.
Right.
And, they make a big push to the playoffs, and then all of a sudden, once you get in, they will be the team that nobody wants to play in a 7-gamer.
Is that because you mentioned the deadline, and I was wondering what's the point that Zito's looking at to say, hey, we'll be aggressive at the deadline again? Because I'm not saying there'll be major trades or that they'll consider major trades, but I don't think it would shock anybody if they're aggressive at the deadline again, because they have been over the past couple seasons. I mean, shoot, they brought in my guy Marchand last year. and
You love him.
happened. I mean, come on. But what's the deadline to where realistically, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you have to just look at it as a general manager, as a team president, whoever, and say, hey, it's just not going to happen for us this year.
Oh, he'll never look at it that way. I mean, unless you're, somehow 15 points out. But they're going to have to make a determination on whether or not you think Barkov is coming back. That's the big one. If he's not, then you can use that money and you go make a move. A lot of people thought they should have made that determination 3 years ago when they were out of the play. Remember, there was rumors they were going to trade Gudis and all.
Yeah.
They kept everybody together. The rest is history. So unless you're almost mathematically where you'd have to go I don't know, 18 games. They got to go 15-2 or 15-3 or something. I don't think he'll look at it that way. And as you said, aggressiveness. I mean, last year, I thought maybe, Matt, maybe is this the year maybe you keep your draft picks and you don't do anything? You won the cup and they go get Marchand and Seth Jones. So I don't think they're going to be that far out of it where he wouldn't go and fortify it. But the big question is, how much money can you use? And that's going to be based on if Alexander Barkov's going to play. Do you wait for him if he's coming back for the first round, second round, or third round? You got to get there in order to get him back. So it's a really intriguing, next couple months for this team.
But we know what their DNA is, which is go for it. I mean,
always.
Yeah. I mean, that's who they are.
I mean, if he says, if the medical, that's what's going to determine it, says, yeah, he's going to be good to go after, I'm just throwing it out there, after the first round of the playoffs. You do whatever you've got to do to get to the second round of the playoffs. I mean, 100%.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
Steve Goldstein, he will not be on the call tonight.
No.
He's going to be, what are you going to do? How are you going to enjoy the game?
I'll do the stuff on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
And I'll go.
You walk around, you're like the mayor of Sunrise.
Shake hands,
Right.
kiss some babies, rub shoulders.
Speaking of kissing babies, do you know that his wife is due any day now?
Wonderful.
Yes.
They went to the
Yes.
hospital last night thinking it was happening.
You did.
We thought it was go time. Was
He's
not
supposed
go
to
time.
be on the call Sunday for Packers-Bears in Green
That's
Bay.
not happening
Not going to
anymore.
happen?
That's not
He
happening
can't
anymore.
go. How could he go? He
Well,
can't
if
miss
the baby comes,
can't miss the
We were
birth of his
hoping
first
that, but
child.
we'll see. Yeah.
what about tomorrow if the baby comes tomorrow?
If tomorrow the baby's here,
Yeah.
I'll see you in Green Bay.
What?
Even Friday morning you can
Wow.
I didn't even think
Well,
about
well, if
that.
we got someone a backup for me, or how's it going to prep?
Yeah, you got plenty of time with the baby.
Yeah.
Got to do the football. Baby just got here. Baby will
I'll-
be there Monday morning.
True.
I'll
Good point.
bond with him in your place.
You'll be the
And then-
midwife?
Yeah, I'll be like the
Is it
midwife.
definitely a him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't giving away any.
If you tell that boy in 20 years you missed Packers Bears for this, Dad, what are you doing?
But I didn't even.
Dad, what are you doing?
Barrett could have the baby tonight or tomorrow, and then you'll make it for Sunday's game
That's
with no
right.
problem.
Right.
You should stop at Skyline Chili on the way home and get her a 5-way chili, and guaranteed. Listen, whoever has a 5-way chili at Skyline tonight is going to have a baby tonight.
Hey, look, you guys are big time. I'm sure there's some big time people listening. Maybe somebody out there
Private jet.
that has some extra hours
Yep.
Is Mr. Ross listening?
will hook up Josh Chappelle and fly him up to Green Bay,
You know what?
get him back.
See, this is why
the
we
baby.
need Goldie on the show more often. He's got ideas.
Yeah.
We're sitting here. We're talking about flying into O'Hare early in the morning on Sunday and driving.
No.
No, you find a guy
Right.
with a jet.
Right. And there's plenty of people listening right now that could
Viola?
probably
Of course.
Mr.
probably
Viola?
hook you up.
A
Someone
PJ.
someone that works for one of the companies, a private guy that has extra time, you know.
Goldie, you'll appreciate this. So I randomly get a call last year, early in the year, and I'm like, this number doesn't look familiar at all. But the iPhones now, they'll like tell you who it might be. It'll say maybe whatever. The name that popped up on my phone was Colton Sevier.
What the?
Yeah, I know. Former Panther, bottom
Of
six
all
forward,
people.
Colton Sevier. He's selling private jets now. Private jet.
Come
rental.
on.
Swear.
Why don't you call him?
Oh, I can't afford it.
No, he's got to hook you. This needs
Hey,
to be, I'm going to
Colton.
say, he needs to be on the house, this deal.
Hey, Colton. I'm friends with Goldie.
Well, that'll be $80,000, sir.
All right. Enjoy the game tonight, Goldie.
right,
we appreciate making time for us, and we'll do headlines in the next segment
That's all right.
because we wanted to have time with Goldie.
Go
And,
Canes, go Panthers, both of them.
I mean, there's a lot of action. MLS, we got a championship game on
How much?
Saturday.
Hey, here's
afternoon.
how much are those tickets? I was curious about that. How much they going for?
You can get in probably for cheaper than Maple Leafs fans are paying to be at this game.
Really?
No, you think?
Yeah.
No.
What are they going for?
You think tickets are available?
Tickets are available.
Well, secondary market, but how much are they?
$300-$400.
Oh,
That surprises me.
Yeah.
you thought it'd be more than that?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, with Messi.
Playing Vancouver?
I've got tickets. I bought tickets to the Winter Classic.
Yeah.
Is that going to start getting excited, or you think I should sell those?
Is it going to start getting what?
Exciting.
What do you mean?
I haven't heard much hubbub about
Well,
it
you know,
yet.
you have to go down to Miami to watch the game.
Yeah, no. I'm aware.
I mean, you won't
Is
come
this-
to the FIU basketball game.
Is this a night start?
It's going to be great. Yeah, 8 o'clock,
Yeah.
which means 8:10, 8:15. It's going to be.
Yeah.
It's one of those events you got.
That's what because I very
Yes.
rarely buy tickets.
We know.
I bought.
Aware.
I
and
bought,
get in line.
I bought 4. Yeah, I mean, he's preaching to the choir. But I bought 4 when it first got announced and first went on sale because I was like,
Right.
well, how often do you get a chance to go to the Winter Classic?
100%.
Yeah.
You should
All right.
see it. When they come out for that. I've worked a couple of them. When they come out onto the field, it's very cool. They emerge from the baseball. They emerge from the dugout.
Roof's going to be open, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I
That's
believe
the plan.
the plan is to open the roof right when the game starts.
Interesting.
Yeah, so keep it closed up till then. Hopefully, it's a chilly night here in South Florida, but it's a cool event.
But if you know anybody that wants to buy the tickets, you let me know.
What are you asking?
Well, I don't know. What are they offering?
Oh, jeez. Why don't you offer someone your tickets to take a Pell to the football game?
I would love to get a Pell.
Why don't you
to the
do that?
football game.
You could if you offer your Winter Classic tickets.
Fingers crossed.
The value of a PJ flight to Green Bay and back is probably the same as those tickets.
I mean, it's got to be nothing, right? It's got to be nothing.
Someone's
Bay.
got to do them a favor.
Flying to Green Bay back and forth all the time.
Someone's got to do them a favor.
All right, see you, Gold.
Love against Williams. Come on.
There you go.
See
Steve
ya.
Goldstein. I mean, making the 5 o'clock Funky Buddha happy hour even more fun. We'll wrap things up with headlines, believe it or not, in the next segment. Here's a little something I know something about, which is replacing a roof. Unfortunately, twice here in South Florida, I've had to replace an entire roof at my home. Now, I hope you don't have to do so, but if you do, if your home needs a new roof or maybe just a repair, my guy Party Peter at Perfect Choice Roofing has you covered. Remember this website, roofhotline.com. Perfect Choice Roofing offers instant range estimating, which means you can get a price range of your new roof within 30 seconds. And you could see different roof options at the same time. And again, it all starts by you visiting roofhotline.com. Maybe you don't need an entire new roof. Maybe you just need some repairs. Any homeowner knows you let a couple of shingles have gone bad, a couple of roofing tiles have gone bad. This little problem can become a major problem and a major expense. You want to take care of it early, and that's where Perfect Choice Roofing comes in. Don't let those little problems become major problems. Take care of it now at roofhotline.com. Party Peter and roofhotline.com have you covered. There is no job they can't do. So if you're looking for a reliable company, and of course you are, that offers the best manufacturer warranty, like a 30-year warranty, contact Perfect Choice Roofing at roofhotline.com. Again, whether it's an entire new roof or just a repair, Party Peter and Perfect Choice Roofing have you covered. Just visit that website. It's roofhotline.com.
This is Hoch, Crowder, and Solana.
I think we need to implement every day on this show 4 o'clock, clotted butter, and scone. I mean, a little throwback goal song for you there, Goldie.
I like it.
5 o'clock hour is the Funky Buddha Happy Hour. If you're coming to the Amerant Bank Arena tonight for a little Panthers hockey, stop on by the Funky Buddha Tap Room right across from Pantherland. Get yourself a nice cold beverage and enjoy some hockey. The way that I would suggest doing it, you walk in, you go to the Funky Buddha, you get yourself a beer, maybe a gloves off, and then you walk upstairs to the suite level, which is where we're at, and you get in line for the carved turkey sandwich.
Ooh.
Now, earlier today, the Amerant Bank Arena and the Florida Panthers were kind enough to deliver us some delicious food.
Mm-hmm.
They brought us some chicken parm flatbreads. Tree has stolen it over there,
Tree's
Goldie.
just been hiding those the entire. You
It's
buried
a
the lead.
Chicken parm flatbread, which is available on the club level, and they also brought us some burnt end brisket sausage.
Why did I not know? How did I not know about this?
Which is also available
brutal.
on the club level. So how about that?
Is it good?
And tonight, obviously, you're here just as a fan. You're not working. So you can get, I mean, everyone knows the turkey sandwiches here are legendary. People will wait. They'll miss an entire period of hockey sometimes to get the carved turkey sandwich. Ryan, the owner of Funky Buddha himself, has been known to miss half a period of a Stanley Cup final game to get the turkey sandwich. And the only reason I know that is because I was here with him, sitting watching the game while he disappeared to get the turkey sandwich.
That's where he was.
I suggest walking in, getting yourself a Funky Buddha, get yourself the carved turkey sandwich.
I was here the day before Thanksgiving. I believe that was the Flyers game.
Yep.
I've never seen that turkey stand less crowded. And it has to be the single night every season where there's
funny.
nobody in the turkey stand.
Because they know turkey's coming the next day.
funny.
Yes.
That is interesting.
That's the
How about
hack.
That's the life hack. There you
If
go.
you're someone like Hoch prior to Oronde,
correct,
then you would love the night.
that would
before,
be
yeah,
the
that would be
turkey
night.
that I
Yep.
do.
That's
All right, let's
the day
do
you jump in.
headlines quickly. Goldie's going to stick around with us till the end of the show, which is very exciting for us. It's kind of like the first team, but it's the last team.
The time,
and it's and it's 100 years later. Other than that, it's just like
People
It's like-
still
It's like the
come up
first
to me, though.
team. If the first team never became successful and no one listened to them,
People still come up to me all the time. They're like, "Oh, QAM, I remember the first team with Goldie Goldstein and Joe Rose."
I hear it all the time from people.
Oh yeah, that was
it's
a
crazy.
legend. That was a
Crazy.
legendary. You know, Stu Gatz and I do this podcast, and we were talking about doing the Mount Rushmore of South Florida sports radio. And there's an argument to be made for the first team.
Wow.
And I don't even think it lasted that long. How many years was it on?
Let's see, 90. I'll never forget the day in 95 when Jimmy Johnson called in, said we're going to kick the Giants' ass, guaranteed the win. It was in the Daily News. That was a big deal to me. I was like 24 years old.
Yeah, made the Daily News.
He was driving from the Keys to Davie. He goes, let me tell you, we're not just going to beat them. We're going to kick their ass.
And it was in the Daily News. This is the guy who's the sports phone.
Yeah.
voice.
So 90, stay with us. 975-2828 for the wrestling hotline. Stay with us. We've been through all that before.
I could do
So I
that
guess
every
95 we kind
hour
of started,
of the hour.
but I don't think it was called. Wait, no, it was called the first team. Yeah, 95, about 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, it went
Ballpark.
on that long?
Yeah, ballpark.
Wow.
Something like
But
that.
10 years.
8 years.
10 years.
But
is a long time.
Defoe,
Yeah, I didn't
Defoe didn't
realize
come
it was
on
on that
until a few years later. He came
So it
over
was
from,
just you and Joe?
it was me and Joe and Steve Shapiro for a little while.
Wow.
Yes. It was me and Joe.
Shappy.
Then me and Joe and Steve Shapiro. He came in, and then Defoe came in probably late 90s. And then, so that part of it with him was probably less, 6, 7 years.
Who put that show together? Was that Joe Bell?
Greg Reed, the owner.
Greg Reed.
Yes, because Duff Lindsay was the program.
Oh, Duff Lindsay.
Yes.
How about this? This is mine.
And the highlight was we used to have the fake Jeremy Schaap
Wow.
call it. And so one time, Duff Lindsay suspended Joe because Joe punched the wall after the show. Yeah, for absolutely no reason, just because he's Joe. He's still doing that stuff, as you know, arguing with people. And the guy called in. It was just me and Defoe. And he calls in as the fake Jeremy Schaap. And he leaves us that morning with, well, there's no Joe Rose. So let me tell you something. It'll never be Duff Lindsay, ESPN. Never forget that. That was like 25 years. I'll never forget that.
Before Levitard was doing the fakes.
Correct.
You guys were doing the fakes.
Correct. Well, they had the fake, so they got in a little trouble. They had the fake, the phony Tony when Tony Perez was managing the Marlins.
I remember that.
Phony Tony was not very popular.
Yeah.
Amongst the behind the scenes.
I remember that. Wow.
That Josh Beckett, we got to trade him.
Holy
Oh my gosh.
These are my kind of radio
Anyway,
stories.
crazy. Yeah.
These are my kind of radio stories.
Yeah.
Real quick, let's do headlines here because we didn't do them this hour because we've been chit-chatting with Goldie. Real quick look at the headlines with Solana here. Headlines brought to you by our friends at Doral Kia. You heard of Doral Kia?
Yeah, I love those guys.
Home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com.
Panthers, Leafs, puck drop is at 7 p.m. Your only local broadcast tonight because Goldie won't be on the TV call. We'll be with Doug Plagans here on FM 104.3 WQAM.
Who's going to be on the call for ESPN Plus? Do you know?
I believe Mike Monaco and Ray Ferraro.
Bingo.
I believe.
Yep.
Okay.
Canes Hoops, they're at Ole Miss.
Woo.
That'll be
You
at
heard of this
9
Ole Miss?
tip-off.
They've been in the news lately.
Who? Who coaches the basketball team? Anybody know? No.
idea.
At Ole Miss?
Yeah.
Chris Beard.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Is he leaving too?
Why do you know that?
How would you know that?
He was one of the top coaches in college basketball, and then he got in some trouble at his old son. But then
Oh,
Ole Miss
yeah?
hired him. Yeah.
That private jet to Green Bay is not looking good after that. But go ahead.
Chris, you're doing a phenomenal job if you're listening, and I love you. Always respected you.
That game, Canes Hoops versus Ole Miss is on AM 560 tonight.
And that's an SEC network game on television.
Wow.
Do you know what the ACC network is airing for like
Tonight?
48 hours straight?
Miami, Notre Dame?
Yeah.
I heard that somewhere. Why'd I hear
Clever.
that somewhere?
Clever.
They snuck in a Miami UF as well. Like one
Did they?
hour is Miami UF, and then every other game is Miami.
Which game? The Brock Berlin game? Or
No, the
No,
one
I'm
from earlier
guessing
this year.
I'm guessing
Oh, the one from this
season.
year. Okay.
Yeah. CFP selection show, of course, tonight.
7
p.m.
o'clock tonight. This
7 p.m.
this could put all our angst away.
What's the prediction? In or not in?
I said at the beginning of
What
the
do you think?
show, I started to think,
Yep.
and we won't know officially tonight. You'll have a pretty good idea, but you got to wait for the conference championship games. But I started the show by saying, I think momentum is building for Miami over Notre Dame. And then I said, but I might be living in a bubble on social media where everything I follow has momentum building for Miami over Notre Dame.
What do they got to be, like 10 realistically today to really have a chance?
What
'Cause if
were
they're
they,
11,
13?
If they're 11 or 12, they're not getting it.
Right.
they were 13,
They were
but
13.
but they've consistently moved up. They were 18, then 15, then 13.
And they just blew out a ranked team on the road.
Right.
So that'll help the resume
Yeah.
a little bit.
We'll see. That again tonight is at 7 p.m. on ESPN. The Miami Heat will play the Dallas Mavericks tomorrow. They're on the road. They finished their 4-game homestand 3-1. They blew out the old Los Angeles Clippers last night. Tomorrow's Mavs game is an 8:30 p.m. tip-off.
All right.
Which means
Somebody DM me that you said 7 o'clock puck drop tonight, 7:30. If you
7:30,
yeah.
correct.
Who?
Who what?
Who sent you the message? I want to know.
Oh, some guy on Instagram.
Oh, just a random nobody you know?
Literally. Dan Baldor.
Oh, I thought
Oh,
someone
of
you
course.
knew sent
No,
that.
just a DM.
No, yeah, he's right. It is 7:30.
7:38, actually. Just saying.
Thanks, Goldie. No, appreciate that. Yeah.
That's how
Since
the first
Dan Baldor wants to
that's how the first team ended.
Literally.
The time. All right. Anything else? We got to wrap things up.
Your weather, it's sponsored by Chill Zone AC, featuring reliable root AC systems. Visit chillzoneac.com. You have any issue with my weather report here, Goldie? Partly cloudy tonight.
Yeah.
Lows will be mid-70s.
Well, it's dark out. It's dark. Do you enjoy doing the weather that it's so bad usually, or is it you just don't you throw away, or you're just not good at it?
No,
Which one?
I love it. I love it. Yeah,
That's just
truly.
throwaway.
Is it the throwaway?
By the way, before we wrap things up, did you do the sponsor?
I don't know. Did I? Yeah.
Yeah, the sponsor's wonderful. The weather. The
that's
weather
all that
report is what we're questioning. Not,
Well, they're questioning sponsoring it at this
Right.
point. Before we wrap things up here today, again, one more time, is Giving Tuesday, and I want to support Twan Russell's Russell Education Foundation, so I will remind you again, they do such great work locally. RussellEducationFoundation.com. Twan Russell is a great dude and does so much for the community. It's almost hard to comprehend. And everyone can make a donation if you have the means. You can go to RussellEducationFoundation.com. You'll see a make a donation tab right there on the homepage, and do a little good on a Giving Tuesday. We'd appreciate it. Panthers tonight on this radio station. Hurricane Hotline, though, I believe is coming up first for like 30 minutes. Is that so? Or not 30 minutes, an hour, I guess. It's only 6 o'clock.
That is
now.
correct, yeah.
So we'll have a little Hurricane Hotline coming up. Thank you, Goldie. Thank you, Doug Plagans. Thank you, Rondé Gadsden. Thank you, Josh Appel. And good luck in your endeavors. As
Mr.
you might have a baby or might go call the Packers-Bears game. Who knows what's going to happen? We'll keep everybody posted. Everybody have a great and safe Tuesday night. Go Panthers. Thank you, Tree Crawford, our on-site engineer. Thank you, Jimmy Garcia, back in the studios. We will speak with you mañana.